from the start, don't play dumb. Acting like you didn't see where I'm from. But every move I made, I was meant to shine. You can try to act blind, but you saw the signs. I rose from the dirt, stayed on my grind. Now they looking at me like, damn, she divine. You knew I was the one, don't pretend. Played stupid, but you felt it in the end. I see the way you looking now, switching sides. But you can't erase the truth, don't even try. You knew I had it, you knew I'd fly. Now you gotta watch me as I touch the sky. You knew, don't act brand new. You saw the vision, you felt it too. Played stupid, now you see it's true. I'm the chosen one, I always flew. You knew, don't act brand new. You felt the power, but you stayed mute. Now it's too late, I made my move. I'm the chosen one, you knew the truth. Every word I spoke, it hit deep. They acted like they didn't see the queen beneath. But I stayed focused, never let it slide. I kept pushing while they tried to hide. Now they trying to get close, wanna play me. But where was the love when they couldn't see? I was destined to rise, you always knew. But you kept it low, now look at my view. I see the way you looking now, switching sides. But you can't erase the truth, don't even try. You knew I had it, you knew I'd fly. Now you gotta watch me as I touch the sky. You knew, don't act brand new. You saw the vision, you felt it too. Played stupid, now you see it's true. I'm the chosen one, I always flew. You knew, don't act brand new. You felt the power, but you stayed mute. Now it's too late, I made my move. I'm the chosen one, you knew the truth. They wanna act like it's all a surprise, but you saw the fire burning in my eyes. Don't act shocked, don't fake the vibe. You knew I was coming for my prize. Now I'm standing at the top looking down. You can't deny it, I wear the crown. All the fake love, it's come around. But you knew I'd take over this town. You knew, don't act brand new. You saw the vision, you felt it too. Played stupid, now you see it's true. I'm the chosen one, I always knew. You knew, don't act brand new. You felt the power, but you stayed mute. Now it's too late, I made my move. I'm the chosen one, you knew the truth.
Hello, how is everybody doing? I don't know if you guys knew about this, allegedly, or there was an attempt that was made on Obama this past weekend. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So I am going to play this video. You're going to hear the audio, but I'll be cutting it off here and there and speaking on it. So like I said, I don't know if you guys heard about this. Okay, so here we go.
This, I think, is breathtaking. On the heels of the special committee in Congress looking into the various Secret Service failures that resulted in 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump, we now have information about a really troublesome incident that went down this past weekend involving Barack Obama. And a very clear lapse of security, once again, with a former president. This time it happened in Hollywood, where Barack Obama was going out to dinner at a Hollywood hotspot, Mother Wolf. And he was sitting in an SUV before dinner, sitting in his SUV in an alleyway. There were Secret Service agents nearby, and yet an armed man was able to walk right up to the window.
So, not that there was an attempt that was made on him, but the lack of the security wasn't there while this was going on. The man walks up and he's got a gun on him. All right, here we go.
Barack Obama was sitting on the other side of the door. An armed man walked right up to his vehicle with no Secret Service present where he was, right next to Obama as he's in that car, and the Secret Service there on the other side of the vehicle. Nobody is next to this man. Right. The only saving grace here, we should say right off the bat, is that this person who was armed had no ill intent. He was actually an armed security guard who was working at a nearby a bar mitzvah that was going on upstairs from the restaurant, which we've actually covered here. We talked about the bar mitzvah. Little baby was performed at this bar mitzvah. So they had armed guards at this bar mitzvah. One of them got word that there were.
So there was a marbitz. Look, I'm not going to try to say it. They were having like an occasion at the place. Okay, it was an occasion, and they were having a party, a gathering. Okay, and in the alleyway, Obama was in his SUV, and the Secret Service was not in the car with him. And this a man, security of the party, walked by his car, like came up to his car to try to find out what's going on. Why is there security around my car, around out here? What's going on out here? So he's trying to find out. The security guard's got a doggone gun with him, you guys. What if this was somebody who was trying to get at him, right? That would have been a problem. Anyway, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Here we go.
Someone came to him and said, it looks like there are federal agents downstairs. What's going on? They didn't know that Obama was there. No one did. And we should say, we have spoken with this man. He was told, and he does not want us to use his name, but we've spoken with him. Yes. And he told us that he then went downstairs to find out what was going on. And that's when this thing just takes a really weird turn.
Yeah, it's really weird to say the least. It's completely bananas, actually. So we caught up with the security guard, and he told us, hey, I'm just trying to do my job. They told me that there are a bunch of cop cars downstairs. There's Fed cars downstairs. I should go look into it, make sure everything is kosher. He goes downstairs. He sees this black SUV, and it's got specialty plates on it. He thinks, could be a government official. That's interesting. And the car is cool. So he took a picture. He thinks, hey, I want one more picture. He gets a little bit closer, and he happens to look inside. It's freaking Obama with a laptop. He thinks to himself, holy bleep, I'm armed, and I could definitely be in big trouble right now.
Because he's assuming
he could be in trouble because you're not supposed to. He's an ex-president. He's an ex-president minding his business in there on a laptop in his SUV waiting for his daughter.
He is assuming
to go to dinner.
There are agents all over the place, and this guy is armed next to his car, and he's thinking, oh my God. And so he backs away and decides to walk over to. He did see agents, right, Ryan? So it's not that there weren't any agents around. They just weren't by the car.
Hey, Robzilla.
Essentially, what it was, the alley was not fully cleared, and that door that he came out was not checked, or at least it wasn't being checked at the time.
And the Secret Service is there, and the guy walks up to the car. He is never told, "Don't do it." He is never blocked. He is walking up to this car with a gun, then realizes, "Holy crap, what am I doing?" So he actually, wisely, I think, then turns and went and spoke to two agents, Ryan, that were, 10 feet away?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He goes, he talks to the agents, he says hello. They were startled. They had no idea he was there. He turns around, walks back by the car again, and goes back up to the party and thinks that that's going to be that until he hears from essentially the boss for the security, who's like, they want to check your credentials just to make sure everything's on the up and up. And so he did, and it all worked out.
And that was 30 minutes later. So you got to be wondering after he walked over to them, said hello, right, then walks back inside, the agents that are there have to be talking to each other. What just happened? Who was that person? And remember, there was an agent in the car with Obama as well. So they clearly, after that, said, who was that guy? And apparently, what we were told, because we had spoken with him, is that, first of all, there were 5 security guards at this bar mitzvah. All 5 were armed. Yeah. And
wow.
Including him. And apparently the Secret Service didn't know anything about it. They went to the agent, they went to the supervisor to find out who this guy was. And I think at that point is when they found out what was happening with people that they were off half an hour before they go to get this guy's credentials. Why? What was the conversation about? How did this happen? I mean, maybe they're just doing finger pointing at that point. I don't think we're going to get an adequate answer. We called the Secret Service. We have not heard back from them yet. And
hit that like, y'all. Hit that like, please.
As on the day that they issued this report about Donald Trump, and the agency all of their failures are laid out in this report. And now they have another.
Did y'all hear about this?
Another former president. And by the way, next to the car with a gun.
Hey Harvey, hey Charles. This is Emil from Glendale, California. Guys, I'm in shock. The lack of oversight during the 2 most recent events with Trump. That alone was, kind of freaked me out. Hearing this, I'm baffled. I got to say, thank God it was just a security guard. Thank God there was someone.
Right.
It wasn't someone with movement to harm Obama. But it just blows my mind. It goes back to who's running the show here and how are they going to be held accountable? Especially in this case, 30 minutes of walking around like that. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Wow.
The answers.
30 minutes.
When you look at the other ones, there was a big thing about being understaffed and everything.
30 minutes walking around and Obama is in the SUV. What if that was like a regular person, not even a security guard? The security guard has a gun on him and he's probably legally armed. But what if it wasn't? Just saying. What if it wasn't? Okay.
Anything else? They staff here to guard a car.
I will say something that's interesting. So this incident happened around 7:30 Saturday evening. By just after 9 o'clock,
The former president is coming out of the restaurant, and his daughters had joined in, and their photos, the paparazzi were there by then. And it was interesting that in some of the photos with the daughters, you can see their security. I was wondering that in that hour and a half, did everyone up their game and realizing that they had just had a lapse, and now let's be on our game, because in the photos at 9 o'clock, you see lots of security, lots of Secret Service. And it's a really, really good point, because they knew between the time that this guy went up to the car and the time the daughters arrived, they knew about the security lapse because they had gone to supervisors on it, try and figure out what had happened. Really, really stunning.
Wow. So there it is. Did anybody in here hear about this? Did anybody know about this? Because I didn't even know about this. My husband had mentioned this to me. All right, so after this, I just wanted to tell you guys about that. I didn't know if you guys knew about it, about the, it could have easily been an attempt, but it was not, okay? It was not an attempt. It was mistaken identity, because they were told that there was a bunch of cops, undercover cops or cops that were out there, and they just wanted to know what was going on. And the security guard from the occasion that was going on, the party that was going on, they were told that they needed to go check and see what's going on. Why is there these people out there? So they went to go check, and he had a gun on him, and Obama happened to be inside the SUV in the alleyway. All right. So now we're going to go look at the weather. What's going on with the weather? We're looking at Helene or Helen. I don't know how you say her name. I think it's Helene. All right. So let me go ahead and share this. Hold on. Let's see. Probably some ad up on here. Okay, let's go back.
One of those being Collier County, and that's where we have a crew standing by, getting us the very latest this morning on what conditions are there. Madison Adams is joining us. Madison?
Hey, so I was just driving down US 41, and as I reached the Vanderbilt Beach Road intersection, I realized the traffic light was out. There was a person working on trying to repair it, and then we just kept on driving, and we noticed there are a ton of trees down near here. Look at that tree right there. The wind literally ripped it out of the ground by its root.
Wow.
Over to the right, the wind snapped.
Robzilla, how are you?
And then if you pan back over to the left, Simon, by US 41, there are a ton of palm branches on the side of the road. USIC is out here. They're working on picking this up. And then I'm going to show you US 41 back here. The Vanderbilt Beach Road intersection. Right now, the Collier County Sheriff's Office is out here directing traffic because the traffic light is out. Crews are working to repair it right now. It's pretty chaotic out here, to be honest. It's a pretty busy intersection. They've been working on this for at least the 25 minutes or so that we've been out here, but it looks like it's about to be fixed. Alrighty, guys, we're going to continue to stay out here. We'll bring you an update in a little bit.
All right, let's see what else they got. I'm just giving you guys an update on what's going on.
Right now, we are here inside of the Times Square area where you are seeing that water trickling in here from Fort Myers Beach all the way through the Fort Myers area down to the base of the Matanzas.
This is Florida, y'all.
We're seeing crews out here this morning making sure of two things.
Where are you located? Are you anywhere near where Helene's going to happen?
We'll still be able to get off and on the island. But I spoke with the mayor a few moments ago. I'm working on that piece for my next hit. But he says that if you do not need to be on the island, certainly don't come, because we're already seeing where Crescent Street is 3 feet underwater. So again, if you do not have to be on the island, do not come. And we are staying here on the island, making sure we are covering the weather conditions.
3 feet, y'all. 3 feet. You're in Texas. Okay, good. You're safe.
right,
Stay
thank you so much,
safe.
Lacey. Now, I want to show you the live view
Stay
from Punta Gorda
safe.
from Shore Point Health. You can see we are also seeing some of the ponding and minor flooding in this area, but overall, it's nice to get that let up from the rain across much of Southwest Florida over the next few hours.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Hurricane Helene is sitting about 250 miles southwest of Florida, and it continues to move north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. It has to pick up in that forward speed to make that landfall tonight, and we will see that play out based on the steering currents over the next couple of hours. We should see this not only pick up in that forward speed, but also intensify to a major hurricane. It's been upgraded to a Category 2 as of this morning. Category 3 strength by 2 p.m. 115 mile per hour winds, and then y'all likely as a Category 4 storm into the evening. Heading into tomorrow, it's still maintaining those hurricane force winds up into southern Georgia, and then finally really weakening as it gets caught up with another area of low pressure and dissipates heading into the weekend. So it's the way we have millions across the southeastern U.S., but locally, one of the biggest concerns many of you have is that peak storm surge this afternoon. We are still calling for mainly 3 to 5 feet across our communities, but for a moment, I want to take you up to the Florida Panhandle and down the Big Bend, really from about Apalachicola, just slightly east, where they're looking at upgraded storm surge now 15 to 20 feet. The National Hurricane Center calling this life-threatening, unsurvivable, and then, of course, those values decreasing the farther south you get away from landfall. But for our communities, we're under a storm surge watch, so still watching for that storm surge to really peak this afternoon. Now, the good news and the thing we have that's helping us limit that threat is the direction of the winds and the timing of when Helene will be right off of our coast this afternoon. So winds are still coming in offshore, and by the time we start to see the winds come in onshore around 1:32 with Helene right off of the coast, we are actually going to be heading away from high tide and toward low tide for many Southwest Florida communities. Englewood heading to low tide at 5:12. We already saw high tide this morning at 7:40. Point Bell and Sanibel already had high tide at 6:33. Low tide at 4:01, and on Fort Myers Beach, high tide already.
All right, I'm getting ready to look.
We will be approaching low tide at 4:18. So a few hours after Helene makes its closest pass to Southwest Florida. So that should help us at least a little bit with those peak storm surge values of about 3 to 5 feet. Marco Island approaching low tide at 4:01. So overall, Helene continues to strengthen. You can see that eye really becoming a little bit better defined. We expect our next major update coming up at 11. We'll be sure to get you the latest as we watch Hurricane Helene rapidly intensify.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Lauren.
Yep, let's go to Cape Coral right now. They have been seeing impacts from Hurricane Helene out on our roadways for a couple hours now.
Yeah, the canals I know rising there, Coronado and Cape Coral Parkway were shut down there. Let's check in with Hope Tallman, who has the latest for us. Hey, Hope. Maybe.
Okay.
You gotta love live TV.
Yeah,
We have crews everywhere, so it's a little tough sometimes because the signals go in and out.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
As you would expect in situations like this. So let's go ahead and switch gears right now at 9:45 in the morning. Firefighters in Live Oak, Florida are doing the best that they can to help small business owners, especially since many of those small businesses lost thousands of dollars because of Debbie just a little over a month ago, and some have now closed for good. Those orange inflatable devices that you see there are called Tiger Dams, and they've been installed around the buildings to keep flood.
I'm just glad they're preparing.
This whole system right here is just something they come up with to try to remediate it. We've had flooding every time we have a hurricane, and it's been a mess. So they've come up with this process, and we busted our butt to get it in, and we're going to pray that it works.
Hurricane Helene will be the third storm to hit the Big Bend region in the last 18 months alone. Idalia hit there last year, and then, of course, Debbie 6 weeks ago.
Make sure you are staying on top of all of the weather coverage this morning with our new NBC2 News app. It does replace the old weather app. We have our hurricane guide on there as well. It's free to download from
tropical storm like this or hurricane moving through the area. So just be very, very careful and mindful of our law enforcement officials. Again, out here in this neighborhood here, right next to Doris Park, the neighbors, we've seen a lot of people out just kind of walking around looking at.
This is in Charlotte County.
People are still able to get through the water, but it does not take much to wash your car out. Just 6 inches of water you can lose control in it, even less than that in some cases. So just be very, very mindful. We're live right now in Punta Gorda. I'm Joshua Cole. Back to you.
Thanks, Joshua. So there's another area, of course, that we're closely monitoring that. You also see it all throughout the lawn here and across the way. We're talking about how in their driveway they have some of that problem as well. Did you get in touch with the homeowner? Is there anything?
No, yeah, I got no service on my phone, so I got to get out of this area so I get call them.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible how you can see right through that roof there into the home. And if we want to again give them a look here.
So this is Southeast 19th Place, Cape Coral.
Probably attached to that came down. Again, there's also panels on the ground here. There are the palm tree fronds all throughout the area as well. And that damage, I mean, you can see right through it. It really ripped that apart. So I think that speaks for itself there in terms of damage as well. I'm glad that nobody was in that home and there is no injuries that are reported.
Look at the wind.
Those people have everything boarded up and they don't live in the
area right
now.
Wow, look at the damage.
What exactly is going to happen about
already?
Because as you guys did mention, this is a little bit of a sunshine moment, but there probably will be some rain to follow here later today. So I'll keep you updated as we get more information here at this home and just what's going on here in Cape Coral overall. Reporting live for you, Hope Salmon. Back to you.
All right, definitely glad to hear no one was.
Hey, at it again. How are you?
Right now, you are taking a live look. This is from Diamond Head Beach Resort on Fort Myers. You can see the Gulf there. It's a little rough right now, but it would be a little deceiving because you wouldn't really know that there's a hurricane more than 100 miles off our coast because the sun is out right now. It looks like just a regular day.
Look at where the waves are going to.
We get into the afternoon hours, and right
now, wow, almost to the
Southwest
properties.
Florida, keeping an eye on the areas most impacted by hurricane. away from us, these feeder bands are going to start to push into Southwest Florida, and that's likely going to happen from the mid to late afternoon. So conditions will deteriorate once again as we go through the back half of the day. And then that's also when we're going to start to see our winds come on shore, and the storm surge threat will increase here for us, especially as we get closer to high tide into the evening hours and tonight. You can see the rain really diminishes overnight, but even into Friday morning, we have that onshore flow and plenty of residual tropical moisture. So we're going to have some of those tropical downpours kind of left around Friday, and just kind of give you a heads up if you're thinking about the weekend. It looks like it could be quite rainy as we get into the day on Saturday. The biggest threat that we're facing is the storm surge, nothing close to what they're going to experience.
I'm sharing the weather, and I was talking about
3 to 5
Obama
feet
at the
surge
beginning.
for Charlotte County, Lee County, and Collier County, and we could even see some of this, get pushed up into the
Hit the light, please.
Charlotte Harbor. And so we'll be tracking that closely as we head through the day. Here's the timing of all the threats. So looking at all the impacts that we're going to see and the timing of that, you can see there's the timeline from the mid-morning into Friday morning. And then
All right, so it's like, it says Thursday at 10, Thursday at 1, Thursday at 5, Thursday at 8, and then Friday 8 a.m., peaking 3 to 5 feet in Charlotte. That's what they're talking about. Charlotte, Collier, I don't know how you say that. That's the surge in Collier.
and into Collier County. So we're going to see those tropical storm gusts up to around 40 to 60 miles per hour. Just to give you an idea of the current wind speeds right now, it's a pretty breezy, blustery day. The winds are going to be stronger as you're right along the sand and the shoreline. And as we look at the forecast wind gusts throughout the afternoon, it's really the second half of the day here that we're going to see some of the higher winds, gusting up to around 55 on average, but certainly possible to see some higher wind gusts, especially as some of those feeder bands start to move into Southwest Florida. Here's a look at some of the gusts currently. We've seen some higher gusts so far today. Right now, winds gusting up to 40 to 50, Marco Island, 46, Bonita Springs, and right there in the mid 40s for Cape Coral. And it's quiet. You really, in some neighborhoods, wouldn't know there's a hurricane back off to our west, but we're in sort of that dry slot. We've got a little bit of dry air that's been working in here. So that's good to get a little bit of a breather. There's some rain over Lake Okeechobee, but we're going to be tracking this back off to the west. And just to kind of show you the bigger picture of the storm as it's going to evolve for the next several hours. And I just want you to see it, just to give you that reassurance. It moves offshore of our coastline and continues northward, but as it moves away from us, these feeder bands are going to start to push into Southwest Florida, and that's likely going to happen from the mid to late afternoon. So conditions will deteriorate once again as we go through the back half of the day. And then that's also when we're going to start to see our winds come on shore, and the storm surge threat will increase here for us, especially as we get closer to high tide into the evening hours and tonight. You can see the rain really diminishes overnight, but even into Friday morning, we have that onshore flow and plenty of residual tropical moisture. So we're going to have some of those tropical downpours kind of left around Friday, and just kind of give you a heads up if you're thinking about the weekend. It looks like it could be quite rainy as we get into the day on Saturday. The biggest threat
wow, y'all gonna have a lot of rain over there.
What they're going to experience.
Lots and lots of rain.
15 to 20 feet.
Hey, Dietrich, how are you?
For Charlotte County.
Are you okay where you're at? Hey, Armando, are you okay where you're at right now? What's going on? Hey, Marion.
And so we'll be tracking that closely as we head through the day. Here's the timing of all the threats. So looking at all the impacts that we're going to see and the timing of that, you can see there's the timeline from the mid-morning into Friday morning, and then the peak storm surge. That time's mainly for the afternoon and tonight, up to 3 to 5 feet, as we mentioned. The wind threat, gusts up to 40 to 60 miles per hour. We've already seen some higher gusts than that, so it wouldn't surprise me if we did have some pockets where we gusted up to around 65, maybe even 70 miles per hour, but that's mainly through the afternoon and into the evening, and then the winds will start to subside as we head through the night tonight. We have a tornado watch in place for all of Southwest Florida until 8 o'clock, so that tornado threat
oh, wow.
the afternoon.
Florida, be careful.
Makes it on shore by the middle of the afternoon, and then the rainfall that will continue into Friday morning. An additional 2 to 4 inches of rain there along the coast, and 1 to 2 inches across our inland communities. So we'll definitely see some of those higher rainfall totals right up against the coastline. We're going to be closer to some of those feeder bands. So just looking at the wind gusts once more, and you can see through the late morning and into the afternoon, some of those gusts at 50 miles per hour. I'm going to step aside, but before we toss to break, I just want to check and see if that 11 o'clock advisory has come in, because sometimes they issue them, 10 to 15 minutes before the top of the hour. So just checking. No, we still have the 8 o'clock advisory, but stand by any moment now. We're going to have that new update from the National Hurricane Center. We'll have a lot of information to go over and break down with you, and also a new update to that forecast. And we'll be right back with our coverage of Hurricane Helene.
Fort Myers, where a roof blew off, happened off of Palm Creek Drive.
Wow, look at the damage, y'all.
Been with crew members this morning.
The alarm that I was working at 7:15, I don't
yes, everyone stay safe.
My fan went off, so I thought, oh, okay, power's off. Well, then I started hearing our fan rumbling, and next thing I heard whoosh, and I look out, and of course it's gone.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, listen to this. She says Hurricane Ian did not damage her house as bad as Helene did.
My goodness. Well, and, we were seeing a lot of strong bands early this morning that were packing quite the punch.
No question, yeah. We got numerous reports of gusts over 60 miles per hour. So the question is going to be...
Hold on.
had over 10 tornado warnings so far today, and we are not done. I don't want you to be deceived by this little break we're going to get over the next few hours. I'm putting this on a 2-hour futurecast here, and you can see from now all the way through about 1, we are still dry for most of Southwest Florida. Of course, other impacts.
How's the weather where you're at it again?
But you don't have to worry about the rain for just a little bit. We've got more bands I'll time out in a moment for later on today. So far, we picked up about 1 to 3 inches of rain inland for Hendry and Glades counties, closer to the coast, closer to about 2 to 4 inches for Charlotte and DeSoto counties. And some of the higher rainfall totals have been along the Lee County Islands, almost 3 inches of rain so far for Captiva and Sanibel. Cape Coral, about 1.5 inches, and about 2.5 inches down toward Naples and Marco Island. Now, throughout the rest of the afternoon, we're going to gear up for round 2, and this is when Helene is going to make its.
It wasn't an attempt. Hey, Renegade, how are you? Hey, together.
Associated with, at this point, potentially a major hurricane sitting offshore over the Gulf. This is 4 o'clock.
So if you go watch the video, basically what happened is, as I let you guys listen to it, this past weekend, Obama was out for dinner with, he was going out to dinner with his daughter, and what happened was there was a party in the area, and somebody said, hey, there's police out there, basically go check and see what's going on. And the security guy goes out with a gun, and he was like really close to the car. That's why I put a question mark. It wasn't an attempt. It was just that. What if it would have been an attempt? What it could have been. And the doggone security, his security, was not there. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you this. You guys can look at it later if you want. It's at the beginning. It's not too long.
We are setting up for another round. We got to have a way to receive those weather alerts, the potential for more tornado warnings, heavy rain, and some pretty intense winds with these. And it doesn't take much to see a quick, brief spin up a tornado in any of these tropical feeder bands. Heading into 10, we're starting to see much.
It's flooding where you are too.
And still seeing tropical moisture at play all day tomorrow.
Wow.
Heading into Saturday as well. Finally starting to dry out Saturday night. But in terms of the severe weather threat, that's mainly the day today. We'll already be calming heading into tomorrow. We're just going to be dealing with off and on again tropical moisture. As far as how much more rain can you expect? Well, it depends where you live. Closer to the system in the Gulf, closer to the coast, we could see an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain, mainly for the day today. Heading inland, about 1 to 2 inches more if you live back toward Clewiston. All right, a tornado watch is in play for all of Southwest Florida. Like I said, we've had many areas where we've seen pretty significant.
Look at the area for their tornado watch
across Southwest Florida. That's a real possibility all over again later on into the afternoon with those outer feeder bands. All right, here's how this will time out. So I said the closest pass will be about 2 p.m. The good news is we still are on track to see the center of Hurricane Helene over 140 miles away from us. Of course, the impacts way extend outside of the center, and then we're still on track to see a eastern Florida landfall as a major hurricane by tonight. So it will run out of time, but leading up until then, there's not a lot that will hold it back from intensifying. So certainly our hearts going out to all of the eastern Florida panhandle heading into the evening. Locally, we are already seeing some impressive reports for winds. This is one of the main impacts. We are still looking at tropical storm force winds, and for all of us, we're still seeing sustained winds at around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Gusts heading into the afternoon, though. Once we see Helene make that
no, that
40, 50,
that's why I put a question mark.
We've already seen those gusts this morning with some of those storms, but this will be some of the worst of the wind. Locally, it will feel like a tropical storm. Heading into tonight, though, because this will be pushing up to the north, making landfall and booking it toward Georgia and South Carolina, we are looking at winds already improving back down to 30 miles per hour after sunset tonight, and then back to 15 to 20 miles per hour heading into tomorrow morning. So heading into the weekend, transitioning back into a much calmer and much drier pattern. All right, hurricane hunters investigating Helene right now as it moves to the north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. I know some of you are concerned about
that thing is huge.
Into the afternoon. I'm going to show you the latest projections, and we'll go through tide times county by county. Overall, though, we are looking at 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. I'll time that out for you. That's
Limited drive again over there on Sanibel.
All right, now we're going to show you some new video of a boat docking area. This is along Gulf Shore Boulevard. We have to tell you that it's a boat docking area because you can't even see the docks right now. The water's covering them up. Some of the boats on the boat lifts certainly look like, well, they might be able to float away any second, but look at just how high that water is there. Again, this is in Gulf Shore, on Gulf Shore Boulevard.
Wow.
There's supposed to be docks there. You just kind of see the pylons right now of where they would be.
That's Naples.
Yeah, and a lot of those people who have boats have the right idea. They put them on those lifts to get them up. But, with the storm surge that we're expecting,
so critical to have a way to receive weather alerts. Hurricane Helene will make its closest pass to Southwest Florida in about 2 hours. Putting us on a 2-hour futurecast, though, as we continue to see lots of heavy rain, some of the tropical bands way off of our coast, we are still expected to stay mostly dry. This takes us all the way to about 1:30. However, it's going to be getting breezier, so if you don't have to be out and about, this is also when we really expect the winds to ramp up. So not all the impacts are going to be happening at the exact same time. You saw many of our reporters seeing the winds gusting already, especially closer to many of our island communities. But we're seeing winds across Southwest Florida, even inland, now sustained at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. But this is really just beginning, getting closer to those 30, 40, 50, even 60 mile per hour gusts by the late afternoon. So what can you expect the rest of the day today until about 2? We're still
all tonight along Florida's Big Bend. So the worst of our weather will be through the afternoon and into the evening. And you can see that with the latest futurecast. We'll be tracking some of these outer bands there on the eastern side. And based on the latest information, it looks like some of those will start to spiral into Southwest Florida as we get into the mid to late afternoon. So there's look around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. And I want you to see the wind direction here. Notice how the winds start to turn more onshore towards Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach. Thankfully, for most areas, we'll actually be in the low tide cycle. What you don't want to see is getting the strongest onshore winds aligned with the high tide cycle. So we're actually getting some luck there in that department, but still 3 to 5 feet storm surge expected along our coast. Not everywhere, but there will be some surge up to those levels. By 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight, still some of these feeder bands getting strung across portions of Southwest Florida, and it looks like some of this tropical moisture will actually last into Friday morning. At least we'll see periodic tropical downpours as we fly in here tomorrow morning. You can see some more pockets of rain, but not as widespread, and we won't have that tornado threat. Looking ahead at the futurecast rainfall for the next 3 days, and if you're thinking about the weekend,
I hope it's getting
Saturday,
better.
We'll see some of this rainfall. So for the next 3 days,
And they know what they're talking about.
About 2 to 3 inches for most of Southwest Florida. And typically in the summertime, we see that in one day, but the ground's already very saturated. It won't take much to lead to additional flooding. So there's
You see that here as of the 11 a.m. advisory for Hurricane Helene. Still a strong system. It's Category 2 hurricane, 105 mile per hour winds. Look how large this system is. We've been talking about this the last the last couple of hours, just how large this system is. And that's why we're still seeing all of this impact here in Southwest Florida, because that wind field is expanding well away from where the center of Helene actually is. Now, as we go forward, it is forecast to become a major hurricane as we head later on into the afternoon. And before it does make landfall, it has that possibility of becoming a Category 4 hurricane before making landfall
Tallahassee
or really the Big Bend area. But for us, we've actually been a little bit quiet the last couple of hours.
And then Atlanta, Georgia is going to get it.
We're starting to see
this is what it looks like.
Coast anywhere from 30, 40 miles per
Well,
hour.
pray for everybody over there too.
Quiet. We've been in this dry pocket. You can see a few little isolated showers skirting
Still
the coastline,
rising
watching
water.
A little bit of rotation with the nose, and they've been staying offshore.
Couple of bridges near me have water at the bottom of the bridges.
As we head later on,
wow.
More rain bands that are going to be starting to work through. We do.
Where you at, Renegade? I forgot. I forgot to ask you.
Again, we're quiet right now. Don't have any warnings out there, but we had several throughout the morning hours. A couple isolated showers that are pushing into our far inland communities, but that dry pocket is starting to get filled in with that cloud cover. You can see that here on visible satellite. Many of us still seeing that sunshine, but towards really west of I-75, we're starting to build in those clouds. Still not seeing any of that rainfall along the coastline, but take a look at this. It is not a good day there in Fort Myers Beach. The waves are definitely churning up there. We've been seeing some of that flooding.
Category 4, yeah.
This morning when we had that high tide, low tide is starting to.
North Carolina, that's right. You did tell me that.
Some good news, but definitely still pretty high up there on the beach. But take a look at those palm trees, absolutely whipping out there. That's what I was just saying. We have those sustained winds at the coastline, 30, 40 miles per hour, a little bit further inland. Obviously, a little bit further from Helene, we're not going to be seeing those sustained winds like that, anywhere upwards of 15, 20 miles per hour further inland. Take a look at these wind gusts, though. 57 mile per hour wind gusts at Naples Airport, 73 mile per hour gusts at Fort Myers Beach. That was an update since last time I checked.
Roof blown off of her home. Over
Look at this. Oh my God. Where's this at? Let me see. It's North Fort Myers, y'all.
Members, friends, and the community all came together quickly to start fixing the roof. Right now, they're putting a tarp over the home.
Oh my God.
Investigating whether this was the cause of a small tornado or any streetlight winds, but we will make sure to update you. Local in North Fort Myers, back to you.
Wow.
Team coverage. We are tracking Helene for our viewers out there on both stations, and that brings together the power of.
You have to remember how it is that hurricanes are structured. You see those high-end wind totals.
Look how big it is, 199 miles wide.
Those strong winds are right in here.
And that's from the eye.
Later on today will be right in here in the system's eye wall.
To Naples.
Thankfully, we will not be getting into that core of the hurricane force winds. Northern Florida will, however. In fact, I think one of the lasting legacies of this storm, in all likelihood, will be the inland wind damage.
Oh my God.
It's moving so quickly. It will be moving so quickly. As
hey,
it
Howard, how are you?
It won't have time to weaken very much as it tracks inland. Look at how far inland the hurricane warnings go. Across much of southwestern Georgia, all the way northward towards metro Atlanta. So there's going to be a wide swath of wind damage, catastrophic wind damage by the coast, but wide-reaching wind damage well inland.
Yeah, the flood zone, right.
Hurricane winds on our model here stays off to the west of Southwest Florida. We're gusting towards it.
Jesus.
We had a gust on Fort Myers Beach about an hour ago at 73 miles per hour, so nosing towards the hurricane force gusts. But note too how wide this wind field is. The hurricane, or the tropical storm force winds rather, extend about a 500 plus mile wide area. So even as the center is making landfall, that tropical storm force wind field still extends all the way down into the Keys. It's going to take a while then for us to wind those winds down here. Even as we get into the evening, there's 9:45, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we are still seeing sustained tropical storm force winds across the area. Here's what the gusts will look like. We'll go through this hour by hour, gusting 40 to 50 plus miles per hour, get to 2 and 3 o'clock.
Stop coverage of Hurricane Helene continues. Take a live look right now of Englewood Beach, and this is an area that is notorious for flooding, and the beach is absolutely
wow. Look, why is somebody out there right now?
You see a swimmer, or at least somebody in knee-deep water in the middle of that shot.
Look at this right here.
At all, but take a look there. That is Englewood Beach, and you can see the waves. And
Oh
as Lauren just mentioned,
gosh.
the storm, the hurricane, is
Right there by the white
to our
sign that
coastline
says
in this area
warning.
right now.
There's a
And
person
pushing the water
there.
up onto the beach. And
How you
numerous
doing,
beaches
Howard?
in our area, I'm sure, are going to be damaged.
Oh my gosh.
As well as Chief Meteorologist John Patrick and Meteorologist Rob Duns all coming in. We're going to do a bit of a changeover coming up in about 10 minutes here as we continue to simulcast on NBC2 and ABC7. So we've got a lot of big updates and more analysis coming up on the information from the 2 p.m. advisory. Our coverage of Hurricane Helene continues. And as we go to break, we'll take another live look. We just got these new pictures in, and this is the police department in Punta Gorda.
This is
in
Charlotte
County, and we've been telling
Charlotte
you
County,
that the roads in downtown Punta Gorda were
Florida.
flooding, in Marion Avenue especially. The Peace River and Charlotte Harbor
Oh
coming
my
into the downtown
God.
area. We're getting word that the police department, the water is dangerously close there. It's coming right up to the building there. So the US 41 bridge over the Peace River is shut down right now. Downtown streets in Punta Gorda are shut down, not possible. So stay home if you can. We're going to take a break. When we come back, our mile per hour shy of Category 3 status. So we're expecting this to continue.
That's
to
horrible.
today, make landfall as a Category 3. Hopefully not a Category 4. That kind of took that off the table early this morning. Regardless, 130 mile per hour winds, 145 mile per hour winds. These are kind of the same type of destruction and catastrophic end result that works could be through the Big Bend. For now, the storm is continuing to be very wide. The pressure drops, and that is going to continue its further intensification. Right now, the center of the storm is over 170 miles off our coastlines. It says its closest approach to our region. 170 miles is a good bit of ways away. The issue here is that those tropical storm force winds extend well beyond that. So the Category 3 status expected tonight. Here's that expanding wind field. Areas in orange are those tropical storm force winds. You can feel them, you can hear them. They continue.
That was earlier, you guys. I'm going from the beginning to now.
Those storms themselves.
Our complete team coverage on how this is.
And on my drive into work, I know those low spots. I had trouble getting out of my own neighborhood.
They wanted people to avoid the barrier islands. Don't cross the bridges here. This is Matt with some shade. Past bridge here right behind us. And with kind of condition we're seeing, they just think they rather people stay here in this area.
Oh my God, he needs to go in somewhere. They've been taking too many chances.
The wind conditions. I got a gust of about 25 miles an hour. That was the strongest I got here, but we know that the actual.
It's about to get blown away. What the heck? It's not worth the job.
Out here, you don't have to cross the bridge here. We're kind of busy today. Just don't do it. Stay home and stay safe.
Wow. Yeah. This is the closest. Having storm surge into that area of Collier County, 35 mile an hour wind there in Heritage Bay. Lehigh Acres
still has white knuckles from holding on to that steering wheel, because I'm telling you, it was nerve-wracking. Right now, we are here at the Tarpon Bay Road Beach Park, and you can see water from the Gulf already up in here. We're talking now with Eric Jackson from Sanibel. Eric, they were talking a moment ago about the causeway, all of the work that is being done. I mean, obviously, no reason to believe that the causeway would be compromised in any way, but certainly water, we've already seen splashing up over the road.
Well, the causeway is reinforced for that very purpose because of storms like this. So that's why they've been working so hard since Ian to reestablish that, to fortify it, make it more resilient.
And let's talk about beach renourishment. As we kind of pan off, you can actually see the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of beach renourishment. Talk about how much has been spent, and is it doing its job?
It's absolutely doing its job. So over this last winter into the spring, $14 million.
140 miles wind.
On Sanibel, and it's for this reason, the same as I explained.
Yeah, it's going up. I'm just showing you guys from the beginning to now.
Into the beach, and you're wondering what's happening to that sand. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
I'm giving you guys updates on how it started and now.
To help protect it. So it's a good thing that we put it in when we did, and we're watching it do its.
And thankfully, we'll also be.
Those conditions are. I'm reporting here in Fort Myers Beach. Alex Diaz-Ferropoulos.
Thank you. And I have a friend who has a business on the way to Fort Myers Beach. All right, that's a little bit of analysis of Hurricane Helene. We'll have more coming up in just a bit. For now, listen, take a break.
And that does bring some rain, but those don't spin as noticeably or as prevalently as the right front quadrant. So yeah, we'll still see some rain bands. There's a tornado watch until 8 o'clock, and we'll keep our eyes on everything right here at ABC7 and NBC2.
All right, we're gonna go back out.
communities closer to Lemon Bay, you're going to be approaching a period of low tide. It's around 7 o'clock tonight, but the water is unlikely to be very low because, as you'll find here, at the same time that Englewood is at a period of low tide, there will also be a strong onshore wind for much of the Lemon Bay area, with wind gusts close to 45.
Hey, Phoenix, how are you? Thank
Thankfully,
you for
it's not a
coming.
true west to east wind because that would really maximize the storm surge flooding in the Englewood area, but there will, at least to a degree, be a component of onshore winds in the Englewood area during their period of low tide later on tonight. Now, as we move closer toward the midnight hour and approach high tide in parts of western Charlotte County, it's early in the morning tomorrow, about 3:30 in the morning, when neighborhoods like Englewood will be at their period of high tide, and it also happens to align with a period of time when winds will be onshore. However, and this is important, the winds aren't expected to be nearly as strong tomorrow as they are right now. So instead of seeing the wind gusts of 50 and 60 plus miles per hour, by 3:30 in the morning tomorrow, when the Englewood area is back at a high tide cycle, the wind gusts should be closer to 25, 30 miles per hour. So it is very important to make sure.
Sunrise, it was tornado warning after tornado warning. That should start to fade a bit, but the rain will still come on in, and these winds are pretty powerful still. And I think they're still going to increase for the next couple of hours before they start to fade away just a bit.
Hold
so now
on.
the center of the storm, we can see the eye of the storm here still off our coast by 100 miles or so, 150 miles or so. And now it's more parallel to Sarasota, getting up closer to Tampa. But we'll see here these bands of rain just kind of stream on in for the rest of the evening. Still pretty dry for the most part. A little bit of rain heading up to the Cape Hayes into North Captiva, Boca's Rand, and then farther to the south of Captiva, Sanibel, that's where our next band of rain should
Wow,
come.
one
I'm now seeing
fatality?
band of rain pushing into places like
Jesus.
Sanibel and Bokeelia, Captiva at 444, St. James City at 444.
Wow,
Bay,
thank you.
451,
Thank you for letting me know, Renegade.
quite the winds and the water.
Wow.
throughout Mount Shea. Here's a look at those winds out of the southeast for now. 30-mile-per-hour gusts possible for areas like North Fort Myers over to Lehigh, and then Sanibel, St. James City, we're already at that 40-45-mile-per-hour wind. We get a little
driveways in.
Look at these.
I'm asking my producer right now, which.
What's really going on here?
Oh, we're not quite sure. It looks like Cape Coral, perhaps, but we got some people just enjoying the extra water in the streets, I guess, on their floaties.
What the heck?
In Cape Coral. Now let's get some new pictures of flooding in Punta Gorda. Now there are a lot of roads closed in Punta Gorda. This is an area that floods very easily. The public
What's
house
really
is
going
up in
on?
front there.
Hey,
You will
Sniper.
see some signs up telling people, the road's closed, but some places they're just not going to put up barriers because they might wash away or be.
Huh? What'd you say?
Why are female hurricanes the worst hurricanes?
I didn't hear you. One more time. They must be used to it, because that's some crazy mess right there. They sitting there in the streets with the flooding, and they in their little floaters. Like, what the heck? Sniper,
Yeah.
what did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What did you say? Uh-oh, now you fell off. Hey, Renegade, how are you? Hi, how are you?
She said, "Hey, how are you?"
Are you guys ready? Are you prepared for everything that's getting ready? Hopefully not happening, but they're saying about to happen.
Well, we're getting a lot of the rain right now, so.
Yeah.
there's a lot
Oh, okay. That's what I thought he said, but I was like, wait, why would he ask me that question? But yeah, I don't know why that the females are worse. I mean, you guys say the women are worse anyway, so why not the hurricanes being worse? How are you though?
I'm good. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I hear you much better. Much better. Yeah, I'm kind of like letting y'all see how it was from before until now, because it is I'm giving you guys updates on how it's been going throughout the day, and I'm hoping that things get like it lightens up on y'all, because I heard that it went from a 4 to a 3 to another 4, and I was up to a 4, and I was like, wait.
I hadn't heard it drop. I heard it keeps going up.
Yeah, I heard it drop to 3, and I was like, okay, good. That means there's a chance that it's going to drop some more, but no, it went back up to a 4.
I've been watching this. I've been watching this one meteorologist that does all the hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like that. And it's been going up, and they're saying that it could possibly hit a category 5.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It
Wow.
157 and above winds, and it's already up to 140.
Wow. Wow, wow,
and
wow, wow.
the pressure keeps going down on it.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's see what's next.
Blown away
What
by the wind. So just do yourselves a favor. If you see water on the road, turn around. Don't try and drive through it. Not the waves crashing over the edge of the canal.
Look at this.
Rocks. This is on Bayshore Drive, right next to
Oh
Rotary
my
Park. Steve Ross took this
God.
photo, or took this video, and he said he's never, since Hurricane Ian, seen the waves quite like this in the Caloosahatchee again. That's right next to Cape Coral on Bayshore Drive near Rotary Park. All right, let's go live now at Fort Myers Beach. Alexia Taropoulos has been monitoring the conditions out there. Alexia?
Yeah, that's right, guys. They should be alert too.
So we're going to still see some of the tails of these bands coming through our community. So we're going to might see some increase in rain, continue to see some of this wind, and hopefully that surge continues to come down. But definitely you might see some debris in a roadway, and you might have as that surge begins to come down and that rain goes away. So hopefully we'll
See how they show it
What
3?
advice do you have to drive?
And then it went back up to a 4.
Decide to drive in this?
Well, if you're able to, stay home is great advice. But if you're
driving across the causeway, as we have done a couple of times now, it is extremely windy. You're going to have both hands on that wheel, and you're really going to be able to feel the car rocking if you're driving across any of the bridges right now. As far as the causeway,
Me and
remember,
my wife,
part of it was destroyed during Hurricane Ian, and it
we
has
have to
been
go past 2 bridges, and the water's all the way up to the bottom of the bridge.
Wait, say that again.
So me and the wife went out to eat tonight, and we have to go over 2 bridges, and the water's all the way up to the bottom of the bridges.
Oh my God. And then you also said that there was a fatality over there, right?
No, not here. There was
Where?
one in Florida.
In Florida? Okay, in Florida.
Down in Tampa.
Oh, wow.
Sign fell on a car and did it.
What happened to Sniper? Must be having some technical issues. All right, here we go.
Now, city officials say that the
moving off towards the northeast. It's even picked up speed. We're getting hourly updates here from the Hurricane Center now. It was at 19, now up to 21 miles per hour, still at 120 mile per hour winds. It's Category 3 major hurricane. This is going to be a horrible storm for northern Florida and even the west coast around Tampa Bay. They're going to see just horrible storm surge up there. But at least the storm is booking right along. So it's not going to have the opportunity to build waves as a slower storm, 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. A slower storm would build much, much, much higher wave height. So being that this is moving right along, that's going to cut down on that storm.
Of your home. Here in Florida, obviously we don't have basements, so what you can go to is a powder room or an area just away from the windows, because it might not be enough of a wind to say take something off your roof, but if you have a projectile going through a window, that's where it can be a little bit on the dangerous side.
Oh my
Think
God.
about kids and think about pets walking around broken glass. It's easy for us to kind of hide, but then all of a sudden your toddler kind of starts walking on a little bit of some broken glass around the region. So Minnesota Key up through Englewood, this is going to be the area of concern. Again, tornado warning until 5:15. This is the most significant part of it. It is a fast moving area. This is moving about 35 miles per hour off to the north. And in fact, just 2 minutes ago, it was offshore. It's already north of Minnesota Key. Englewood is the area of most concern right now.
Wow, it's already land.
Kind of push on through, kind of give you a
It's
better
on
view.
land
But right now,
already.
you're out of this. This is
No,
already
it hasn't hit yet.
well to the north. So into Morningside,
It hasn't hit it?
River Road,
No.
Oxford Drive, into Englewood.
That's the
This is all
outskirts.
pushing onto Pine Street, Lee Road. So once it gets on 41.
So that's just the water, right? The rain part of it?
Where they're talking about right now is the outskirts of the storm.
Oh my goodness.
It's supposed to hit up toward Tallahassee.
So this is going to be in the morning then, right? Or is it going to be late at night?
No, it should be within the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes landfall.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys, let's pray for everybody.
And I don't even know. My question is, why does hurricanes always end up hitting land at night instead of during the day?
I don't know. That is weird, right? I don't know. The doggone hurricanes don't know the doggone time of the day, I guess. I don't know. Not being funny, but seriously.
Well, I guess they don't wear watches.
So that's why the warning is actually pretty good that it's already in place, because there's another little area just to the north and west of there. This is not what the tornado warning was issued for, but this one here, this is 41 north of Minnesota Key. This is Indiana Ave, North Indiana Ave, and then that's going to be another area of rotation moving just to the east of Venice. So anywhere west of Tarpon Point, west of Northport, along 41, pushing off to the north across My eyesight is not good enough to see that road. I apologize. Looks like Carter Road. It is going to continue to push off there. So that's going to be some pretty gusty winds. And following suit, following this below it, there goes another area just to the north. So we are seeing that rotation continue. When we look farther to the south of what's headed our way, these bands are going to be headed our way, pushing on in as well. And they could also have a little bit of rotation. So what we were talking about before last night, you can kind of see some tornado warnings up here as well. That's what we were dealing with last night, that northeast quadrant, which is just prolific with tornado warnings in and out, in and out. There's so much spin in this part based on how the winds go around that system. But here, it kind of has a lot of momentum with it, as you kind of imagine if you were to kind of maybe take a jump rope and kind of spin it around. The edge of that rope is going to have a lot of momentum with it when you spin it around in a circle. So that's where we are with the edge of the rope here as it kind of spins into our region. That's going to kind of create a little bit of that spin and vorticity and get those things going. So it will start to calm down. The winds will still be pretty fiery here, but let me zoom back in on some of those storms there. Rob, are you kind of pinpointing some of those areas too?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I was reading the warning here from the National Weather Service. So they pegged the forward motion of that tornado warning
All right, let's speed it up a little.
It's one of the fastest tornado warnings I've ever seen. But again, thankfully, the part of the cell that's showing west of Pine Island that do look a little suspect, especially after what's been popping up off the coast of Englewood. When you look at the radar reflectivity here, there's about 4 of them that right now are crossing over top of the Lee County barrier islands, moving very rapidly toward the north. And all of these have somewhat of a suspect little feature there that sometimes can produce enough rotation to perhaps at times produce a water spout or a funnel cloud, or on occasion can produce a brief tornado touchdown. See how all these have that little kink feature in there? So that's something that we're going to have to watch very closely behind the scenes, because it's
are at the Naples City dock. If you take a look behind me, it is roped off. It is closed to the public, and for good reason. The winds still do pick up every once in a while, as they have been all
Oh,
afternoon.
wow.
There is a bit of flooding at the roundabout leading up to the dock here on 12th Avenue South, but nothing too bad. The restaurants next door, several other businesses around the area are closed for the day just to be safe. Not much rain, but again, what really hits you out here is the wind. Some really strong gusts.
Is that how your bridge looks too?
The what?
Is that how your bridge looks too, where it's flooding?
I didn't see it. I'm going from site to site.
Hold on. I'm going to see another one.
Winds are going to be powerful for the next half hour at least, as this tornado warning continues for the Cape Hayes Peninsula. Coastal Lee, coastal Charlotte, this is where the impact is going to be for a while as the storm continues to intensify. The storm intensifying is a time when we can start to see those thunderstorms be on the stronger side as well. I'm going to zoom out here. Here it is. I'm going to kind of step off screen for a little bit. And Rob, you kind of got things going, working again over there?
The hand tracker computer is going to work now, so we're going to need the chroma wall set up so that I can stand in front of it if we could, and it would be the NBC2 Doppler 2 computer. The forward motion here of this cell is 55 miles per hour. Can I go to the wall, please? 55 miles per hour is the forward speed of this tornado-warned cell. And right here to the east of Gasparilla is where the most significant rotation is. So if you take a storm track and put the forward speed at 55 miles per hour to the north, which is what has been tagged right now by Doppler radar sources, if it holds together, it'll be very close to the El Jobin area, or perhaps just to the east of El Jobin by 527. It's 516 right now.
So is it worse for you guys right now to have the rain, or is it worse for the wind?
Well, right now, with all the rain that we're getting, if we get any of the wind, if we get like tropical storm or tropical depression winds, then that can topple over trees easier, because the ground's so saturated with the water.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because some people are more scared of the wind than they are of the rain because of the trees being close to their homes. You know what I mean? Wow. Okay.
Be very close to the Port Charlotte area.
Right now, we're in like a flood zone, so.
You're in a flood zone?
Yeah.
But you already have your insurance in line, right? Because
yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing.
This is producing a tornado. It will be very close to the shopping mall. And again, it's moving rapidly toward the north.
Right here. This one is kind of moving as we've been tracking those individual cells from south to north. But this one, as we get into the next about 2 hours or so, we'll start to see things moving from southwest to northeast as we go on into the evening. So that's what we're looking at as far as the rain bands working in here over the next couple of hours. Allison, back over to you.
Yeah, so interesting. In the next few minutes, we'll see if they shave off DeSoto County for this tornado warning. However, I would not be surprised if they show a tornado warning on this guy, just through the Charlotte Harbor region, another area. And like I mentioned, we were tracking these showers moving through areas in Captiva off the coast of Lee County. As it pushes off to the north, they're finding a little bit of spin in the atmosphere and taking advantage of it. And we're starting to see these storms have that spin with it. So this is just to the south of Port Charlotte. It's this area that we're starting to see that little bit of rotation push off to the north. With that latest scan, 2 things. 1, right to the north again. 2, not as impressive of rotation, but also a still pretty powerful wind signature. The brighter the green color here indicated is going to be, the stronger the wind potential. Basically, that radar is just kind of beaming out that range out going, wow, you're going faster than the rest of this storm. And it's saying to that area in red, hey, you're going in a different direction than the rest of that storm. So that's why we can see that little bit of rotation there.
ABC7 viewer video from a few moments ago. That's
Is that a boat?
That funnel cloud or
There's boats in the water.
Is now very far inland into the north of Murdoch. So with that in mind, let's
right here.
Back to where we are at the moment.
Is that a boat?
Producing,
Yeah, I doubt if anybody's in it.
And as I mentioned before, west of Yorkshire Street,
I hope not.
South Chamberlain Boulevard along South San Mateo Drive, that's where you're likely to see either a funnel cloud or tornado. And it looks like as I draw that circle, perhaps the tornado warning has either been expanded or cut off from the bottom there, which would put it more into the southern tier of Sarasota County. I'm joined by ABC7 Chief Meteorologist John Patrick. John, are you seeing something different from your perspective?
Well, I've been looking at that storm, and I've been watching our Punta Gorda camera here from Shore Point Health, because as that cell was crossing Charlotte Harbor, I mean, and seeing the video there was just a
parking garage here at Margaritaville just to get some coverage for that. To make sure
Look at this water.
we're showing you conditions
Oh my God.
Fort Myers Beach. I will say no one has driven by lately. Doesn't look like anyone is out right now, which is a good idea. Stay inside if you can, as we are bringing you the latest right now in real time. Although, take a look here at the water. I am just feet away from my photographer, and the water is almost to the top of my boots, and you can see it right here along the railing. It is almost in line with that railing. Normally, that is way higher than the street. So it looks like the water is continuing to rise here in Fort Myers Beach. Again, we will bring you the latest from right here in Fort Myers Beach. Reporting, Alexia.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I want to get you up to speed on the weather. There are no active tornado warnings as of 6 o'clock for tonight. We're just looking at heavy bands of rain moving on in with gusty conditions. This is a time lapse of the past 30 minutes, and just at 6 o'clock, all those warnings expired as they continue to push on land and lose a little bit of that spin that is associated with them. For now, what to expect going forward are these bands of rain will continue to push off to the east. One thing to note, that as you see them kind of spin into this region, is how that red color that's indicated with the real heavy bands of rain are beginning to diminish into more of a yellow color. So the signs of them intensifying going forward don't look to be as great as just about an hour ago. With that said, the tornado watch is still in place for another 2 hours until 8 o'clock for Charlotte, DeSoto, and into Lee County as these bands of rain continue to pile into the region.
All right, so that's 6 p.m.
Rainfall totals continue to add up, even though they're pretty fast-moving systems moving through parts of Charlotte Harbor. Again, that's a flashing tornado warning because it is a time lapse, but as of 6 o'clock, just 3 minutes ago, no tornado warnings are in place at this current time. If you are in Charlotte County, specifically surrounding the Charlotte Harbor region and that Murdoch region, which had a few tornado warnings going through, be on guard, be on alert.
West and southwest of US 41 near Edgewater Drive. That's where we have enough evidence based on rotation for the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning. So again, if something is on the ground, it would be in these neighborhoods right here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little closer. We get a few more street names on there. Just south of Higgs Drive and very close to Palmetto Drive. Again, because the cell is moving to the north at 60 miles per hour, it's likely now closer to Pritchett Street, or is that Pine Tree Street? Is that
That's Pine Tree.
Pine Tree Street.
I know it's upside down. It's a little hard to see.
Pine Tree Street right there. It's likely that if there was a tornado being produced right now, because of how fast the cell is moving, the rotation is likely farther to the north. So likely in these areas, real close to US 41 and approaching Easy Street and off to the west and southwest of Conway Boulevard. Ellison, are you seeing? Ellison has the velocity. If you wouldn't mind shades here, that indicates a higher amount of rotation actually within the cell that's been producing this funnel cloud. Or
you can see that gusty
Look
wind
at this.
pushing some of that water. Man, it's getting across the bridge there.
Oh my God.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've seen this earlier.
I want to say it's like around 7 o'clock, something like that. And this is all wind driving that water, because like
Yeah, this was earlier, definitely
so
earlier.
theoretically, this water should be going down, but that is
Oh
just
my
not
God.
the case. We still have these rain bands to get through as we go through the evening.
We're getting
Here's
there,
your
you guys.
tornado
We're getting
warning.
there to the update.
Producing a funnel cloud or tornado within the next 20 minutes. We may see it there as it will be moving very close to where the Punta Gorda Airport is. So we'll see if Ellison or John will be able to pull it up behind the scenes. If not, I'll see if I can pull it up here for you just a few moments when John
Oh
gets
my
in. But
God.
again, folks who are in downtown Punta Gorda and Punta Gorda Isles, worst of this tornado warning cell looks to stay just to your south. But again, through these neighborhoods along 41 and 75 through Blue Heron Pines, South Punta Gorda Heights, Tropical Gulf Acres, all these spots that we really need to be, again, that most interior portion of your home, down and away from window.
Look, you see stuff blowing across.
Look at this.
The water.
Somebody.
Oh, that's okay.
That's incredible. Yeah, if you see something like this, do not turn around. Like the old saying goes, turn around, don't drown, because this is really extremely dangerous.
I am blown away by the amount of cars lined up to go through it. That actually looks like an
emergency vehicle there, yeah.
If I could also interject, I also have some live images from Fort Myers Beach. This is on the.
Wait a minute. Wait. Is that something that went on top of that car? Am I tripping, or does that look like something that hit the top of that car? Can you see it?
I think it's just a camera.
Why does it look all beat up like that?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just a camera view.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It's something on top of that the pole.
Oh, okay. Boy, that looked horrible.
island because of the intense push of the water.
Look at
moving
this.
along pretty quickly there, as you can see, obviously from the wind. But anything that was not secured to the ground that was left in Fort Myers Beach is likely not going to be where it was left, based not only on the winds but how intense this current is that's moving across Estero Island as we speak, as this storm surge event is unfolding right now on Fort Myers Beach. And this is not because of the tides. This is purely because of the winds around Hurricane Helene, which have now turned onshore for this part of our community. And you can see here how fast the water is getting pushed in there. Looks like that's the Mr. Tequila Mexican restaurant there in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So the water has been able to go very far inland from where that is. You can see some homes under construction here, and at least for now holding tight. But one of the reasons that the city was asking people not to leave trailers and things on Fort Myers Beach during this event is because of this. We're already seeing large pieces of
it's getting closer and closer
garbage bins
to hit.
And porta potties from all those.
You can feel it.
There's a bunch of.
No, I'm watching it right now.
Just adding insult to injury, and especially nearly 2 years to the day when we had that horrific storm surge event on this very same location, and now unfortunately another storm surge event, though not at the same magnitude as what we experienced 2 years ago today. There is certainly a significant amount of salt water that's being pushed up and over the beaches and across this beautiful community. So let us hope that the people who are on Fort Myers Beach are, if they're able to hear us, they're just holding tight. There's certainly no reason to venture out in this because this water is moving along very quickly.
Look at this, the Matlacha Bridge. There's now a construction vehicle on the bridge. It doesn't look like they're stopping anyone, or maybe they stalled out. I'm not sure what's going on. But this is a great reference point because we've been showing our viewers this specific.
Look at that water going over.
For the entire afternoon, and even though the water has been rushing onto the bridge, it wasn't really lapping onto the road, but it has significantly risen in the past hour. And now this is the worst we've seen it all day. I think it's very safe to say.
Yeah, this is the worst. I just got an email asking, when's it going to stop in Fort Myers Beach? It's not going to stop anytime soon. So we are going to start to see the winds let up a bit, but the onshore winds continue. The tide is going to increase. So it may not rise significantly, but receding is not in the forecast.
The picture of what is happening over the past hour in Southwest Florida and what we expect to continue for at least another hour or so.
In downtown Naples and Gulf Shore Boulevard, seeing a lot of the same thing. When Naples police are asking people to just stay home in that area. Tin City is seeing a lot of flooding as well. So stay home if you can, because the roads, they expect the water to flood even more in Naples. And the Naples Police Department is asking us to ask you.
Oh my
this is
God.
Beach, which is North Naples, and take a look at that. You can see the
Is
water.
that a whirlpool?
That's the Gulf right there, and it's right at the road. That little popular beach there, and there's a roundabout near the Ritz-Carlton. That's where that is, and it is pretty much the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh my God.
That's a roundabout.
And the same thing all the
Wow.
way. Let's go to NBC2 Chief Meteorologist Allison Ray with the latest on the weather conditions right now.
I don't think that anybody should be over there.
Mornings. That's good. Is it going to happen later on tonight? Still possible, but our chances for that tornadic rotation is going to start to diminish. It's not going to go away completely.
So that's
in
7
that area of
p.m.
Collier County, but when you move farther to the north, again, the wind's a little bit stronger, a little bit closer to the center of Helene right now, which, by the way, is a Category 4 storm. We're looking at 3 to 5 feet.
See, it went back up to a 4 again.
Barrier Islands, Sanibel, Captiva, and then as you head towards Manasota Key, those areas of Charlotte County up into Sarasota.
I hope it don't go any further, and I hope it goes down.
This is video of Sanibel, and
oh my God.
It's still a large 4.
Yeah, it is.
And not only the waves, but you can see the debris.
Heck, even a 1 is bad.
That we deal with.
Look at this. So you know a 4 is bad, or a 3 even is bad.
Pressure's still going down, and it hadn't even hit land yet.
We're going to shut it down because look,
wow.
What happened in the past during the last hurricane when the road was simply washed out. They do not want to see. Look at the debris on the road. So they're asking that without them endangering their own lives and standing on the causeway, they're telling people to stay off the Sanibel Causeway, the Matlacha Bridge, and any bridges onto our barrier islands. You can see the reason why, and this is going to continue.
Oh
look at
my
that would
God.
wash the car away easily. We're going to try to show you the images that we are getting into the newsroom as we can, and as the meteorologists take care of doing the weather maps and things like that, we will jump in over the coverage when we get video to talk to you about and the information about it. But we wanted to show you that this is Sanibel Island, and we are told there are huge waves on the beach, and the Lighthouse Beach parking lot has washed away pretty much. So it's going to be a while before people will be able to go to the beaches on Sanibel again.
And we're now getting confirmed that some homes in downtown Punta Gorda, right off Riverside Drive, are taking on water. This is the last thing we want to hear.
No.
But it was the reality with the storm surge that continues to grow as we go throughout the evening, and those winds continue on shore. We have a crew in Punta Gorda on Riverside Drive, and they just sent an email to our newsroom, confirmed that homes are taking on water along Riverside Drive.
Oh, no.
In Charlotte County, we certainly hope that it does.
Okay, let's go to him. Evan, you are dealing with probably the worst conditions that we're seeing. Probably can't hear me too well.
Yeah, Allison, good evening. We've got really concerning conditions, actually. We've been at the Matlacha Pass Bridge, right by the bridge, and we've seen it in really rough shape. Angry. The bridge itself not in rough shape, I should say. The weather out here in rough shape, and some angry waves and some strong winds. But the reason I say there's some concern now is Wicks, if we could pan through, we got water that's starting to cover Pine Island Road here, and as we all know, this is the only way on and off Pine Island, and we haven't seen this, at least since
I hope people went home, got out of there.
Starting to cross Pine Island Road. Rick, if we could zoom in that car, you could see vehicles trying to drive through it. That's the concern that we have right now. I don't know how much higher this water is going to get, but people have been, making their way back and forth all day. But if this water continues to rise, this is not a good situation, and
not at all.
Certainly something that people need to know about. you know, look, we know people live here. They're, you know, they're coming back from maybe they work on the mainland going back home or vice versa. But we just want people to see this and know that we are starting to see water covering Pine Island Road here. And, you know, we've seen it come up some, but not actually to the road until now.
It is
So
deep,
that's the situation here right now. We've
It
actually got a big
does.
front end loader all the way down there. He's been pushing the debris that's been washing up, which you can see closer to us. He's been pushing that off the road to try to clear that off the road. But now that there's water making its way across the bridge, that's the concern. And you can see we've got more emergency vehicles up here.
my
We've had, you know,
God.
one deputy throughout the day, but now we've got a few. And
That looks
we're gonna try to get some
horrible.
information once we go off the air here to see if we can find out what they're saying. Needless to say, if you don't have to be over here, just don't. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Get out of there.
Close to Deep Creek, so just to the north now of Rampart Boulevard.
Listen to these people.
3 tornado warnings were to the west of Lake Susie. This one.
Uh-oh, there goes the warnings.
Allow me a moment to put on a few different products. We'll be able to see if we can find where the most intense shear or spin is. And it looks like based on the color table here, this one would actually be very close to the Lake Susie area.
This is a 726 Eastern.
To the west of Rio de Janeiro, and then east of Torrington Street, it looks like, and at least right now, because of how fast the cell is moving, this would already be to the north and the northeast of Peachland Boulevard. And again, it looks like it may try to ride right up along US 7 or over toward the Kings Highway area as the area of greatest spin.
Hour, 2 hours, definitely before midnight tonight, and it's at Category 4 status. So we are expecting potentially this to get even stronger with the new advisory while we are dealing with the impacts here. Kelly, you have new information.
Yeah, we want to give our viewers another ground level view of what's going on in the places that are seeing the worst storm surge right now. So let's go to Alexia Taropoulos, who has been live on Fort Myers Beach, just kind of update
Behind the scenes, and if again this warning is set to expire and move out of our area inside the next few moments, I'm going to start watching that cell that's over Lee County a little more closely, and we'll touch base again on the weather in just a few moments from right now. So in the meantime, then let me
All right, Rob, thanks. Yeah, you were just showing us an area right now. We just got word that southbound 41 over the Peace River is. Just worry about the possibility of some tornadoes spinning up. Well, this is some pretty extensive
Lord
damage
have
on North
mercy.
Captiva. Not only are we told is there flooding, 4 to 5 feet of storm surge, but definitely some damage that looks like it might be more than just storm surge and flooding. You can see there's a damaged home there. There's a building trailer on its side, tree limbs down.
This is not far from where our meteorologists were tracking all of those tornado watches and warnings. So certainly
Yes.
wouldn't be
Oh, my
surprising. That's
God.
the sort of thing that the National Weather Service will confirm. But in the meantime, you can tell there was heavy wind damage on North Captiva. And we also have a new picture from North Naples. This is Connors Avenue. Look how high the water is up on those mountains.
Oh my God.
This is just off of Vanderbilt Beach.
Look at the.
Thank you to Kathleen Drucker.
Hold on. Look at the mailboxes and look at the water where it's at.
Yeah, your mailboxes are usually about 4 foot tall. 4 foot high.
Right. So that's at least what, 3 feet high, right?
At least.
Oh my God.
This picture, and this gives you an idea that this is all up and down the coast. This is not just Charlotte County, it's not just Lee County, but
Are you
Collier
guys
County, which
looking
is
at
now
this?
hundreds of miles away from the center of
Oh
Helene,
my God.
still dealing with some significant storm surge.
And
County. I'm joined by my colleague John Patrick. John, do you
Okay,
want to
so
answer
this is
regarding that?
7:51 Eastern time.
I wanted to show you and talk a little bit about the Metlachey Bridge. One thing that we've noticed is we were looking at a little bit ago, and of course now that I take the camera on television, it's going to freeze up. But it looks as though at least a little bit of this surge is starting to come down a little bit. We don't see the water splashing on the bridge anymore. So that's just a little bit of good news. As the wind starts to, and there's a little bit of a brighter shot of the Metlachey Bridge right there. You can see that the water is still very, very high, but it is not splashing across the bridge like it was a little bit ago when we were tracking it. There are the 2 tornado warnings.
Charlotte, you had your fair share of strong storms earlier today. Those have since subsided. This is
7:58
Leah Road, all the way up through
PM
Poplar
Eastern.
Drive, Duncan Road. These are areas that are going to see some strong storms as well. If you are along Duncan Road, and this storm will be headed to your region, Washington Loop Road. You just see some light to moderate rain right now. This is pushing off. I think they just dropped that tornado warning. Okay, so they canceled that one because it wasn't as impressive looking, and they reissued it farther to the north into DeSoto County as it pushes into along 17.
There's another tornado warning
on that one.
for
This one doesn't have as much of a signature either along 17.
Georgia.
For Georgia?
Yeah, for near Savannah.
Oh my God.
17, but DeSoto County has the most intense thunderstorms with that possible spin and powerful storms, specifically the one just south of Joshua. As we look out at the other storms, Cape Coral, you probably have very loud rain going on throughout your region, extremely heavy rain. It's taking over much of Cape Coral. As we zoom in here, we zoom in even more so you can kind of get a better view on this big monitor behind me. So you can see it's taking over from Sands Boulevard. This is all along Cape Coral Parkway. This is all along Veterans Parkway, through Pelican Boulevard, through Southeast 32nd Street. Once you get closer to Del Prado, it's a little bit lighter, but Veterans Parkway, you're traveling. Then once you hit, say, Country Club Boulevard and points west, that's when the rain starts to pick up. No tornado warnings for Cape Coral, but the heavy rain will continue to push off to the north. Burnt Store Road, Old Burnt Store Road, over the Metlachey Bridge. We're seeing some of those heaviest rain move through Northwest Cape and continuing on. What to expect going forward? Are these more storms pushing into Sanibel, Captiva? These are all continuing to kind of stream on into the region here for Fort Myers Beach. The winds are still on shore. the storm surge will continue to rise. We are past low tide. We are now moving into a higher tide. It will take a while, and this high tide is not as high as the one was this morning, but it is going to have that higher tide, and the winds will stay out of the south. We just got that. I'm going to kind of scoot back over to the latest on the 8 o'clock advisory. Looks like it is still a category 4. And Rob, no, we're looking at winds at the north-northeast. I thought you had more information on the new update. So no real advisory change on the update. One thing we're going to look out for, I know we're concentrating on the rain showers here and the thunderstorms here, but with an update with the 8 o'clock advisory, you don't get that cone update shift. We have noticed, I think it's kind of airing on the eastern side, hugging on the eastern side of the cone that they had, so making landfall potentially more east of Tallahassee. This could be good news for Tallahassee, making it a little bit farther to the east than what was previously thought. Even though they're still going to have a pretty bad day with extremely powerful winds, it looks like it might end up kind of going more off to the north and east instead of kind of directly making it direct north. But hey, we still got a few hours to go here as it's
hold the water from coming inside. We do have some new pictures now from Sanibel, or the Sanibel Causeway. This is some driving images of earlier today on Sanibel.
Oh my God.
The water is over the road. The roads are flooded on Sanibel. I just was listening, watching on Facebook, Holly Smith, the councilwoman out there, talking about how many roads are flooded and a lot of beaches washed away on Sanibel.
And I've been asking, this is one of my friends who sent me this video near Bailey Road. He said there's no water in his house yet. And a lot of the homes on Sanibel are built up a little bit on stilts, but some are not. And I'm asking him if he's starting to see water in any homes, because at this point, that seems to be what everyone is holding their breath for.
Yeah, I do have a report of a friend of mine who has a house on Sanibel, and he's got about 3 or 4 inches of water in his garage already. So it's coming into some homes.
Okay, so that's what we're
Oh
watching.
my
We
God.
know that all of you who are watching us tonight and listening to us tonight, who live near the coast and are watching the water rise on your street, maybe up your driveway, that is the question. We don't know the exact answer on that.
Yeah, they wanted to keep their boat down there because I think they are anticipating they might need to get some people out if they stayed on the beach. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's get an update now. Of course, if you're just joining us, we are...
Look at how the winds are forecast to play out in terms of wind gusts over the next 12 hours.
We want to let our viewers know that we are simulcasting NBC2
stick change, but we're still going to have these tides increase. Physically, or by the way of physics and how science works, with the tide rising and an onshore wind, there's no way that the water is going to recede within the next few hours. So what we can hope for is that it's a manageable rise over the next few hours when high tide comes before the sun comes up. Then the winds will be noticeably lighter tomorrow morning. The tide will start to come down, and we'll start to see the waters level out a bit before eventually receding. It's going to take a while for the waters to come back completely. We'll see improvements tomorrow, but I don't see how these waters they might start to slow down their forward rise, but they're not going to reverse within the next few hours. So let's hope for the best that it doesn't get any higher than what we need. What we're seeing now is heavy rain. What we're not seeing right now, thankfully, are more tornado warnings. It's moving so quickly right now, and then it's going to kind of stop and get stuck. Then it's going to kind of spin there and leave those onshore winds for us for a while. That's why that threat will kind of linger. Here it is. You can see it clear as day on radar, making landfall. So how soon is it going to make landfall? Well, that really depends on which path it wants to take. It kind of ends closer to Tallahassee. It has a little bit more ways to go through the Gulf. If it takes kind of more of a northeasterly approach, it would make landfall faster just by the way of the shape of the coastline. But this is a very dangerous day continuing. See how much the waters came up in our region. Imagine up through parts of Tampa. I'm sure the video is just catastrophic through parts of areas north of Tampa as well. They are very susceptible. So I always say how we're so susceptible.
And this is
Florida, we're a little bit even more so based on our
p.m.
under our water, what it looks like under the
and very strong south wind. Now, we are moving away.
Activity and some areas that might have a little bit of rotation, but I'm not seeing that right now. Let's go over to Allison. She's got some more, a little bit more of a closer view of what's
Looks
going on
like
with
the
this
storm's coming into Prairie, Florida.
moving downpours move throughout the region.
Hold on.
It's starting to let up in areas like
The storm what?
So it looks like the storm's coming into Perry, Florida.
Oh boy. Already?
It's getting close.
Cape Coral and moving out of places like North Fort Myers. This is headed over to the Babcock Ranch region right now with some very heavy rain. This line of storms is zooming off to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So it's pouring in areas like Buckingham, all the way down through parts of Gateway. And
Picture or video for this one, Dylan. Oh no. Okay, so this is
the same one here,
okay,
I think. Yeah.
Okay, so
Look at this guy.
And now we want to get to Cape Coral because, again,
Oh
the big
my
concern, of course,
God.
tonight, all up and down the coast is
They can flood your car. But this is everywhere right now. This is all up and down Cape Coral Parkway. All of the intersections up here to Chiquita are like this. So we're going to keep, monitoring these conditions for you and check out these neighborhoods. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys. Rachel Whalen.
There's always some jerk that's going to drive by and try to slash the reporter. Rachel handled that very well.
as we knew she would.
Some that are pushing all the way down the street, heading towards that downtown Fifth Avenue area. And you can just see how much water is coming through in this entire area, pulling a lot of that sand and that beach berm project we mentioned many times during Hurricane Ian out of the way.
I know they're cold.
Berm, and especially eroding the beach here. And you can really see the wind and the water is starting to pick up as well. We're going to continually monitor these conditions as the water is consistently moving closer and closer to the water. But we wanted to give you a good idea of what the storm surge conditions are looking at spots along the coast, especially in Naples and Gulf Shore Boulevard, lot of homes are seeing water at this time, so we just want to make sure everybody's staying out of these areas. A lot of these roads are impassable right now. Stay home if you live along the coastal communities, and be on the lookout for storm surge if you live right next to the beach. For now, I'm reporting live and local on 5th Avenue South Beach. I'm Ryan Arbogast.
Oh my God, I know he's
Live
freezing.
look outdoors from the city of Naples in southwest Collier, where more storm surge flooding is ongoing. Let's start by taking a few live looks outdoors here. It's remarkable that so many people do still have electricity when you consider the winds that start pushing through the area. This here is a live look from the Sanibel Causeway area, looking back toward the mainland. And as you can see,
Take a break. We'll be right back with weather.
How much damage do you think there has been so far as a resident of downtown?
It doesn't appear that there's a lot of damage as of yet, but as the water rises, yeah, we're probably going to have some damage.
And let me just ask you, there are a lot of people down here walking in the water. I mean, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, that water is just filthy. It's contaminated with who knows what, and it's probably not the healthiest thing to be doing.
A lot of streets are closed. People are going to have to take alternate routes if they're down here.
They shouldn't be out, period. But yeah, some of these roads are impassable.
And so, again, if you just take a look around here, the water is continuing to rise here in the downtown. A lot of people coming by, walking through the water, not advised right now. The best thing to do is just stay indoors. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And, my thoughts and prayers are out there with everybody who's going to be affected by the water.
Thank you so much. And we, of course, will remain here downtown, keeping a very close eye on things. For now, live in downtown Fort Myers, Dave Elias, NBC2.
heart just sinks to all the small businesses in downtown.
Anyways, Charlotte County, we've been talking about water rescues going on there. Road
going on here in Charlotte County. We've actually been trying to get to some of those for you to show you what's going on, but because of all of this, we can't get there ourselves. You know, Kelly, like you said, trying to stay safe. Anytime we see water, we're not driving through it. We're going to heed the advice of the professionals and of the officials here in town and try to make our way around, zigzag, see whatever we can do. Meanwhile, bringing you any sort of updates we can along the way.
Yeah, we know there are several water rescues going on, high vehicle rescues. They're trying to get people out by boat. And if you're in your car and you're disabled and you need someone to come to rescue you, that's just a waste of their time. They need to get people in their homes who do not feel safe right now. We also are hearing that some of the waterways are dangerous. We've had warning from these officials because there could be lines down and electrical currents in the water there.
Right, and the Punta Gorda Police Department just shared that a few hours ago that they do have reports of lines down. And right now, because it's
wow,
any line that you see that is down, you want to go
Hey,
ahead
you
and
know what I've been watching? I'm sending you a link.
Okay.
That it could electrocute you. So you don't want to drive over that area. You want to be careful coming into the waters. If you are going to try to drive through them, I would not recommend it, but they do have reports of those downed lines. And I know here in the city, there is a lot going on right now. And, you know, we're going to have updates changing every 30 minutes.
Continue that momentum even on the western
All right, so
side.
this is 10 p.m. right now.
Status at 140 mile per hour winds, and all of this storm surge is just ushering in to areas into the Big Bend, all north of Spring Hill. So farther to the south, down the line here, everyone along the west coast of Florida is dealing with what we're dealing with as well. Here's kind of a look at the time lapse of that as that continues to push on in. We are just a few hours away from this making landfall just west and southwest of Perry, south and east of Tallahassee. This is a fast-moving storm, and we were expecting it to do so. Remember, it wasn't too long ago that this was...
That's crazy. Oh my God. All right, I'm putting yours in right now. Wow.
This dude, he's been going for 10 hours now. He does hurricanes, tornadoes, everything.
Is he safe to stream his channel?
I don't know. I've never streamed this channel.
In Charleston, South Carolina, and you can see it Branford and Live Oak a little bit later. Okay, so these kind of conditions are what we're going to see. It looks like we're about to lose power. This kind of camera is not going to stay with us if we lose power, so we will lose this as soon as the power goes. And that's in Cross City. So those winds are once again moving up towards Branford and Mayo. The strongest winds right now.
That's going to cover them really,
they should be
little
hitting
more.
the Dark Island camera. We got to be making sure that we're watching that one, and then also the Keaton Beach camera. We've got that in there back in our program. So if you guys want to make sure that we've got that up. That's an important part of telling the story here. You guys can also follow along with this in the Radar Mega app and with the Cyclone Port cameras. You can see the strong winds really starting to.
But I've been watching this guy for
in Florida. I don't know what's going on up on this one.
probably the past 5 hours.
From the Keaton Beach
Oh, okay.
camera, what's going on. So we'll monitor that one on our end as well. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hey Ryan, I just want to give you a quick update from here in Perry. Right now, we did just have about half the town lose its power. Winds are definitely beginning to intensify here pretty rapidly, as we can imagine, as that landfall does begin to happen. I'm trying to actually find a pretty safe place to hunker down right now where we don't have to worry about too much flying debris. So I'm guessing I'm going to end up in a large parking lot next to like a Walmart or a Winn-Dixie or a Lowe's, something along those lines, where we can just ride it out. But I do have several other storm chasers that have offered us places to hunker down if needed inside of hotels. So for anyone wondering, I saw a couple messages.
Oh, that's nice.
If we were going to be safe here, we do have options if it does get too bad.
Yeah, he has a couple of storm chasers with him that he talks to periodically.
From the top of Hall Force 1. We've also got Brad out there in the Perry area where things are about to get pretty intense. Traffic camera still hanging on in Perry, or I'm sorry, in Crossroads, what was it called? Cross City, Florida. But once again, these are the kind of winds that we can expect in Branford and Mayo here soon, and I think we just lost it.
Oh.
So the winds are going to continue to get more and more intense there as time goes on. So we'll need to replace that one. And then, of course, we're going to also keep an eye on our storm chasers, Chris, Brett, Bryce, and all these guys as they're getting closer to the storm as well. What's the Riley or Caleb, whoever? What's the town name of that probe? The probe is in where we can see the street view. What's the town name again? Or do we remember?
That is St. Mark's.
Okay, St. Mark's.
And then the other one is in Shell Point Beach, but that one's kind of out of the way for you guys to really use.
Okay, thank you. If you're just now tuning in, we're moments away from historic landfall here. Hurricane Helene is a Category 4 with 140 miles per hour winds, getting ready to slam into the coast of Florida near Perry. Significant, unsurvivable, and 20-foot catastrophic storm surge is going to follow shortly after. Go ahead, Riley.
A new tornado
Ryan,
watch has been
speaking
issued.
Historic, we just set a all-time concurrent viewers record for the channel. We are at 170,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube right now.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you tuning in. We're taking this very seriously. And if you would like us to be able to help more people, we're going to be here for the duration of the storm.
They're estimating the eye is about 6 minutes away from hitting.
With no interruptions, no breaks. So feel free to share us out there on social media as we continue to track this storm. Obviously, we're kind of hyper-focused on the landfall area right now because we really want to make sure we're accurately documenting and telling the story of Hurricane Helene as it makes
Wait, what did you say?
Historic landfall in the coast of Florida.
They're estimating the eye walls about 6 minutes from hitting landfall.
We're going to be following this
oh, wow.
And beyond. So we'll be here with you for a significant period of time tonight. Yeah, just stay tuned and help us get the word out, just in case somebody out there might not have a very good way of getting this rapid fire information that we're releasing here. So Hurricane Helene is a 140 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane. Could be a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take him off because I think he's a big guy. He's got all those people in there. He's got a big channel.
He's got like 173,000 people.
Yeah, watching. Yeah. I ain't trying to get no copyright. Okay, so this one is it's also live. Oops, come on. They telling people if you don't want to.
Away from the coast. We're going to have landfall sometime before midnight in Florida, about 70 miles now from the coastal area. So what will this mean once it moves on shore? Well, of course, after with the winds itself, that's going to be incredible. Even in the middle of the night through Georgia, the winds could still be gusting up to 100 miles per hour at daybreak around Atlanta near tropical storm force, and then the winds will die down. But it's at landfall that we'll see those catastrophic winds somewhere between Tallahassee and Perry, Florida. That's where we could gust to 100, maybe even 120 mile per hour winds. Then the winds will weaken during the day, but still massive power outages all the way up through the state of Georgia. And then the rain, it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse tonight into tomorrow in areas of North Georgia and especially portions of North Carolina. And Lester, we still have a tornado threat too.
Yeah, there's that. All right, Bill Kerins, thank you. Let's go to that sweeping federal corruption indictment of New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Prosecutors laying out how they say he abused.
No. We're not talking about that right now. That's not important. Hold on, let me find another one. Mm. Hmm. This is like a satellite of it.
If anybody's in Georgia, they need to watch out for this storm also.
Yeah, definitely.
The eye of Helene, again against the limb of the Earth. The International Space Station is currently passing.
Look at, they're in the eye of Helene.
East of the storm, moving from southwest to northeast, traveling 5 miles a second. Helene is at the upper boundary in terms of its size, according to the National Hurricane Center. As a result, anticipated storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts will extend far away from its center, which is about 400 miles wide, and well outside the forecast cone. View now of the eye of Helene, again against the limb of the Earth. The International Space Station is currently passing just to the east of the storm, moving from southwest to northeast, traveling 5 miles a second.
Wow.
Helene is at the upper boundary in terms of its size, according to the National Hurricane Center. As a result, anticipated storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts will extend far away from its center, which is about 400 miles wide, and well outside the forecast cone. View now of the eye of Helene, again against the limb of the Earth. The International Space Station is currently passing just to the east of the storm, moving from southwest to northeast, traveling 5 miles a second. Helene is at the upper boundary in terms of its size, according to the National Hurricane Center. As a result, anticipated storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts will extend far away from its center, which is about 400
That's
miles
crazy, huh?
and
That we're able to see this.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Let me see if I can find something else.
They're saying that there's a 20-foot wall of water in front of this storm.
Jesus. That's horrible. All right, CNN Live. Let's see if we can get a video on this one. All right, I found one.
Normally, Anderson, we get these updates every 6 hours and a new track and all that. But when a storm gets very close, the Hurricane Center does it every single hour. So here's what we see. Here's what we see. Here's what the Hurricane Hunter just found. So we're ramped up to 130. That is the bottom end of a Category 4, but it is a major hurricane, and it has arms all the way into Central Florida. It's going to go all the way with a hurricane warning to Macon, Georgia. It would take 3 hours to drive there from Apalachicola to Macon, and that's how long this is going to have hurricane force winds.
Is that it? That's all you got?
I guess that's all they got.
Jesus. Suck. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get more information. Hurricane tracker. I mean, I would go to that guy's channel because that's the only one that looks like it's going live like that. But he's he might be my downfall for my YouTube channel. Let's see. This one says 3 hours ago. Go back to that other one.
I'm sending you something else.
Okay, thank you.
This is the WFAA.
Okay. Thanks.
They've got a live view on it.
Okay. This is in YouTube as well?
No, this is their own website.
Their own? Okay. Cool. Appreciate it. All right, let's get in there. Where is the thing? Oh, 17 seconds. That's AI.
Mineral wells, clear, 72, south at 5. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3.
Uh-oh.
Helene, clear, 77, east at 6.
That's one of the warning things, right?
Yeah.
Alerts.
Tyler, clear, 73, calm. Once again at 9 p.m. DFW Airport, clear, 77, north at 6. Now, in your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, tonight, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. North winds around 5 miles an hour. Friday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And now the extended forecast. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 60s. North winds around 5 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Sunday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the
Is right near Landfall.
clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny.
Wow.
Highs in the upper 80s. Tuesday night, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Wednesday night, clear. Lows in the mid 60s. Thursday, sunny. Highs around 90. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Friday through Wednesday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. The ultraviolet index forecast for September 27th is 7, or high. The Dallas-Fort Worth climate summary for this evening as of 7 p.m., September 26, 2024. Today's high temperature was 83 degrees and the low 66 degrees. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at 2.24 inches. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 33.94 inches. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 85 degrees, and the normal low is 65. The record high for tomorrow is 103, which occurred in 1953, and the record low is 40, which occurred in 1942. Sunset tonight is at 7:19 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:20 a.m. The current time is 9:19 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You're listening to NOAA All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 55, serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area.
That's crazy.
Weather temperature and wind were made at 9 p.m. DFW Airport, clear, 77, dew point 55, relative humidity 46%, wind northeast at 6, pressure 29.83 inches and rising. Fort Worth Meacham, clear, 74, calm. Dallas Love Field, clear, 77, calm. Arlington, clear, 67, calm. Denton, clear, 70, calm. Mineral Wells, clear, 72, south at 5. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3. Abilene, clear, 77, east at 6. Waco, clear, 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear.
2 more fatalities.
Oh my God.
And the 2 was right near where I live.
Oh wow.
A 2-car crash due to the storm.
Yeah.
4-year-old girl and a 58-year-old male.
Oh my God. Where's that? Where are they reporting that?
On the same one where you would the first one that I sent you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s.
The one that has 170,000 people.
Yeah, the actual YouTuber, not the news. Yeah.
Well, see, he's a meteorologist.
Oh, he is a meteorologist?
Yeah.
I thought it was a YouTube channel.
It is his YouTube channel, but he's a meteorologist also.
Mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Monday night, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Tuesday night, clear.
Yeah, they're talking about stuff that's going to be in the future. We need to know it now.
Highs in the upper 80s. Wednesday night, clear. Lows in the mid 60s. Thursday, sunny.
I mean, I found a couple of storm chasers, but they're about like him. I mean, they've got people out riding around the streets and stuff.
Right.
And now the hazardous weather outlook for Friday through Wednesday.
I mean, it's showing it, but it's showing it so small. We ain't worrying about everything else that's going on. We need to know what's going on now. So it's saying it's a 4. Look.
Yeah. It's 140 mile an hour storm right now.
Wow.
140 mile per hour winds.
High temperature was 83 degrees and the low 66 degrees.
I mean, I did see on one channel, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but they did say that the winds were up to 150.
Wow. So I think a category, 4 is 120 and up, right?
Category 4 is up to 156 miles per hour.
So then it could be possible that it's 150.
157 and above is a category 5. That's the highest.
Right. Wow.
The current time is 9:23.
That's horrible.
Daylight time. You're listening to NOAA All Hazards.
Are you guys okay over there?
National Weather Service.
We're fine right now.
Serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening The following reports of weather temperature.
We did have a couple of tornado warnings, or a tornado, whatever, where there was a tornado. We had two
A
tornadoes.
tornado
near-
watch?
Yeah, we had two tornadoes near us earlier tonight, but I hadn't heard anything else.
Wow.
Arlington, clear, 67, calm. Denton, clear, 70, calm. Mineral Wells,
That's horrible.
72, south at 5. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3. Abilene, clear, 77, east at 6. Waco, clear, 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear, 73, calm.
We just got a tornado warning in Jasper, South Carolina, and Beaufort, South Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
So if anybody lives near there that's home,
Metroplex, tonight, clear.
watch out.
Lows in the lower 60s.
We got a flash flood warning for my area now.
Highs in the mid 80s.
Oh my God.
North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the mid 80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And now the extended forecast. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower
You back? Oh, so he's doing like now and then and extended. I was wondering why he kept talking about that.
Highs in the upper 80s. Sunday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Monday night, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Tuesday night, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Wednesday night, clear. Lows in the mid 60s. Thursday, sunny. Highs around 90. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Friday through Wednesday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time.
And you did hear about the tropical storm Isaiah or Isaac out in Helene, didn't you?
No. Hey, Cash, how are you?
Yeah, there's a tropical storm out in Atlantic too.
I've been following this one. I ain't even thinking about no other ones. And that's where's that one at? Atlantic?
In the Atlantic Ocean, heading toward
Oh
France.
my God.
They're talking about it could get up to a hurricane before it hits France.
Wow.
The record high for tomorrow is 103, which occurred in
No. That's not D-Truth. That's Renegade. Cash, that's Renegade. That's not D-Truth. That don't sound nothing like.
Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:20 a.m. The current time is 9:27 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You're listening to NOAA All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 55, serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area. The following reports of weather temperature and wind were made at 9 p.m. DFW Airport.
You don't know.
77, dew point 55, relative humidity 46%, wind northeast at 6, pressure 29.83 inches and rising. Fort Worth Meacham, clear, 74, calm. Dallas Love Field, clear, 77, calm. Arlington, clear, 67, calm. Denton, clear, 70, calm. Mineral Wells, clear, 72.
Oh yeah, I know. I was already in there.
Around the region, Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3.
You're in the chat earlier. I know. I seen you. I saw you.
Waco, clear, 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear, 73, calm. Once again at 9 p.m., DFW Airport, clear, 70.
You know who I haven't seen in a while, Cash?
Now let's check on your local forecast.
God bless.
Fort Worth Metroplex. Tonight,
I haven't seen him in a few days. I don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay.
north winds around 5 miles an hour. Friday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour.
Another tornado warning for Franklin, Virginia.
Highs in the mid-80s.
Oh, wow.
North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour.
That's going really north.
And now
Yep.
the extended forecast.
Oh, this storm's going all the way to Canada. This storm's all the way up into New York.
What about Tennessee? How's it doing in Tennessee?
I've heard they've had a couple of tornado watches in Tennessee already earlier tonight, but I hadn't heard anything else about it.
Okay.
Monday night, clear. In the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s.
Wait.
Tuesday night, clear.
Slide check.
Lows in the lower 60s.
Channel or chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't actually. Okay, Cash.
Lows in the mid 60s.
You need to come up here, Cash, one of these days. You're funny.
It is now time to check on the latest tropical activity in the Atlantic Ocean.
Hey, just being me. How are you? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Intermediate advisory number 14. Location.
Y'all, please hit that like if you haven't done so yet. Thank you.
About 80 miles west southwest of Cedar Key, Florida. We're about 115 miles south of Tallahassee.
Just being me. Where are you located? What state? You don't have to tell me exactly where. I just want to make sure you're safe.
942 millibars or 27.82 inches here is Tropical Storm Isaac Advisory number 4. Location.
I did dislike you. Funny.
West. We're about 1285 miles west of the Azores. We're about 880 miles east-northeast of Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds 50 miles an hour.
You owe me a you owe me. You're supposed to be coming up on my panel, Cash.
Central pressure 995 millibars or 29.39 inches. Remember, you can hear the tropical summary at the top and bottom of every hour when there is activity.
Just being me, you've got.
She's over there where you're at.
Yeah, you got quite a few tornado watches and warnings near you.
Oh my God.
Near South Carolina, depending on what part of South Carolina you're in.
Right. Are you getting a lot of rain over there, sweetie?
No hazardous weather is expected at this time. The ultraviolet
Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you're okay. One day? Okay, you owe me.
For this evening, as of 7 p.m., September 26, 2024. Today's high temperature.
Flash flood warnings for Ash, North Carolina, and Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Hmm.
The total precipitation for the year still stands at 33.94 inches. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 85 degrees, and the normal low is 65. The record high for tomorrow is 103, which occurred in 1953, and the record low is 40, which occurred in 1942.
Oh, wow.
Sunset tonight is at 7:19 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:20 a.m. The current time is 9:32 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You're listening to NOAA, All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 55. Serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area. The following reports of weather, temperature, and wind were made at 9 p.m. DFW Airport, clear, 77, dew point 55, relative humidity 46%, wind northeast at 6, pressure 29.83 inches and rising. Fort Worth Meacham, clear, 74, calm.
Hey, just being me, are you north or south? Are you north South Carolina or south South Carolina?
She said they got flood warning. But good luck, just me. Yeah, I know, right?
Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3. Helene, clear, 77, east at 6. 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear, 73, calm. Once again at 9 p.m., DFW Airport, clear, 77, north.
New tornado warning in Georgia.
She said north. Huh?
There's a new tornado warning in Georgia.
Oh my God. What part of Georgia?
Down toward Chatham, Georgia.
Okay.
North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour.
I'm in the upstate. Oh, she said she's upstate.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the tornado warnings that they've been coming out with is right around like Charleston, South Carolina, Folly
Okay.
Beach, places like that.
Okay.
A lot of water spouts coming in from the ocean, coming in toward Charleston and all.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you owe me cash. You're coming up on a panel one of these days.
Mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s.
Yeah, I'm like mid North Carolina, so
Lows in the lower 60s.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, sunny.
mid to upper, let's say that.
Okay.
Clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Wednesday night, clear. Lows in the mid 60s.
Oh my God.
Sunny. Highs around 90.
I hope it goes away soon. Are they looking at it lasting like throughout the day or what?
Oh, this is going to be going on for the next 2 days.
Wow.
Especially the rain.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ultraviolet index forecast for September 27th is 7 or high. The Dallas-Fort Worth climate summary for this evening is of 7 p.m., September 26th, 2024. Today's high temperature was 83 degrees and the low 66 degrees. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at 2.24 inches.
Wow.
Total precipitation for the year still stands at 33.94 inches. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 85 degrees, and the normal low is 65.
This is crazy.
The record high for tomorrow is 103, which occurred in 1953, and the record low is 40, which occurred in 1942. Sunset
Yeah, I know you are. We just went through it with oh my goodness. Francine. Francine rained. And a couple days before that it was raining. It was like, man, when's it gonna stop?
Yeah, it's been raining here on and off all week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm sure it's been for just being me. Hampton, South Carolina, and Jasper, South Carolina, new tornado warning.
Wow.
Clear, 74, calm. Dallas Love Field, clear, 77, calm. Arlington, clear, 67, calm. Denton, clear, 70, calm. Mineral Wells, clear, 72.
New tornado warning for Rocky Mount, Georgia, or Rocky Mount, Virginia.
Okay.
77, east at 6. Waco, clear, 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear, 73, calm. Once again at 9 p.m., DFW Airport, clear, 77, northeast at 6. Now let's check on your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Tonight, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. North winds around 5 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And now the extended forecast.
So is it normal for you guys to get this kind of weather around this time?
Not like this.
Mm.
This storm is This is like a 1 in 4,000 year storm. And what I mean about that is that this kind of storm happens like 1 in 4,000 times a year.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, this storm goes all the way from Florida all the way to New York.
Yeah.
Just because of a low pressure that's out in the on the other side of Tennessee.
Highs around 90. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Friday through Wednesday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time.
No, not for you. Mm.
For September 27th is 7 or high.
Looks like the eyes hit already, but they don't consider landfall until half of the eye gets on land.
Okay. But you guys have like the rain is on land. It's just not the eye of the storm of the hurricane. Got it.
Yeah, the corner, it looks like the corner of the eye has already hit land, but they're waiting for half of the eye to get in.
Right. Okay.
103, which occurred in 1953, and the record low is 40, which occurred in 1942. Sunset tonight is at 7:19 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:20 a.m. The current time is 9:40 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You're listening to NOAA All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 55, serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area. The following reports of weather temperature and wind were made at 9 p.m.
Oh, man, oh, man.
77, dew point 55, relative humidity 46%, wind northeast at 6, pressure 29.83 inches and rising. Fort Worth Meacham, clear, 74, calm. Dallas Love Field, clear, 77, calm. Arlington, clear, 67, calm. Denton, clear, 70, calm. Mineral Wells, clear, 72, south at 5. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, clear, 74, east at 3. Abilene, clear, 77, east at 6. Waco, clear, 73, north at 6. Tyler, clear, 73, calm. Once again at 9 p.m., DFW Airport, clear, 77, northeast at 6. Now let's check on your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Tonight, clear. Lows in the lower 60s. North winds around 5 miles an hour. Friday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 60s. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And now the extended forecast. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 60s. North winds around 5 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny.
I wonder why this thing is not picking it up.
Sunday night, mostly
I don't know what's going on with that.
lows in the lower 60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the upper 80s.
Yeah, this is just pictures. I'm trying to get video and it keeps sending me pictures. I don't want to see no pictures.
Highs in the upper 80s.
Let me see. Video.
Lows in the lower 60s.
Coverage.
Sunny.
Here we go.
Wednesday night, clear. Lows in the mid 60s. Thursday, sunny. Highs around 90.
There we go. I found something.
Weather outlook through tonight for North Texas.
Because they're going to keep repeating the same thing. I'm trying to get something different now. It's getting boring and boring. I just, I take really big. You like snowstorms?
Heck yeah, I'd take a snowstorm over this.
Really? Oh wow. I don't know if I don't even remember being through a snowstorm like that. So I don't know which one I would choose.
But as soon as we find those out, whether or not they are confirmed, we will.
This TJ Springer.
You know, TJ, we've talked so much about this storm surge coming in, and part of the reason is we know the Gulf is so shallow that water has nowhere to go but up into those communities.
Oh yeah, that's so true. And Brooks and I were talking about this earlier too, guys. You know, with how fast Helene is moving, if it's slower, sometimes you can interact with some of that water, that upwelling, so to speak. But really, there's been nothing to weaken and really change Helene at all. And in fact, it's obviously gotten stronger so quickly since
Wow.
time today. Now a major Category 4 hurricane.
I lived in New York most of my life. Oh, okay, that's why.
Top of the hour, the wind sustained at
I like snow, but I don't know about a snowstorm.
over the last 2-3 hours, the shades of whites and blacks, that's all the really high cloud tops up in the atmosphere wrapping around Helene's eye, a sign that it's really been organizing quickly as it makes its way off to the northeast at just under 25 miles per hour. And that's one thing. It has so much forward momentum. It's going to be so much worse on that northeastern side of Helene as it makes landfall here in likely just about a few hours.
Here's something else I just found, but it's on YouTube.
Eventually, I think we're going to have to watch out for.
Is it like a
It's live.
It's live? But who is it?
Live stream events.
Who is that? I don't even know who that
I don't
is.
know.
I mean, this is as real as it's going to get without getting a copyright, because this is the news.
Some gustier wind and these downpours as we've heard.
This has like 4 different cameras.
Helene, we want to start.
Oh, okay. Put it in there. I'll check it out.
Right over to
I already put it in. It's the
She's
last
got
one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. We
My bad. I didn't see it.
Pretty much all morning long. We've had a couple of bands of rain move in, a couple of tornado warnings. We haven't had any sort of confirmed reports just yet, but as soon as we find those out, whether or not they are confirmed, we will, of course, let you know. So looking at our Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar, we can see that we do have some showers and storms, mostly in the way of downpours still taking place. They're moving off to the north and really the northeast at a pretty fast rate. So yes, they're dumping a lot of rain, but it's over a pretty short period of time. We are though keeping a close eye on this storm in particular. This is going to continue to kind of graze the coast here in Volusia County, close to Edgewater. You guys are seeing quite a few downpours there. Also just to the south of New Smyrna Beach. So you guys will probably see a couple of these pretty heavy
And I've
downpours
also
in
got
the next few minutes as well, if you're not feeling it already.
Fox News also.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Just right now it's Fox News. But look at this one, you guys. This is like the original. There's like no audio to it, but it's the street what they call them, street cameras.
Yeah.
There you go. Street cameras. You can't get any liver than that. I pray that everyone is in the path of this storm. Stay safe. Yes. Amen. 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 Was that a lot? Oh no, I thought that was lightning. That's like rain coming down hard.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Look how like it's blowing. You stay safe, just being me. Please be safe.
Okay,
Mhm.
Jacksonville, Florida's lost power.
Huh?
Jacksonville, Florida lost power.
Oh no.
Roanoke, Virginia, Franklin,
You're
Virginia.
welcome.
Tornado warnings.
Wow. You're welcome, just being me. It's been a while since I've seen you, girl. I hope you come through more often. Did you ever get your channel up yet? Hmm. Yes, both of them. What time do you go on?
I got my dog underneath my desk, just hitting my leg.
Uh-oh.
Allendale, South Carolina's got a tornado warning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that first one I sent you's got all this stuff going.
Yeah, I see. I believe it. It's just that I could tell that he's got a big, those people with the big channels, unless it's the news, they be ready to strike people too much. As if they made the storm or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the trigger warning and fair warning, maybe it'd still be tripping. I'm going live Saturday. I'll send you the link. Okay, sweetie. Send it to my IG, okay? You still have my IG? Okay, send it to my IG, sweetie. Don't forget, because I know y'all be forgetting sometimes and be like, you didn't come. I didn't get no notification, and nobody sent me nothing. Man, that tree looked like the way it's moving looks like a leaf. Oh my goodness. So how's it looking over there? Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it. Just being me, I'm gonna hold you to that. Yeah, so how's it over there? It's still pouring down hard over there where you're at? Renegade?
Yeah, it's still raining.
So did they say how many lights went out in Jacksonville, or like?
They just said that the weather center in Jacksonville, Florida lost power.
Wow, that's even worse than I thought.
And that all the alerts are coming from New Orleans now.
Mm.
They're talking about Tallahassee losing power next.
Hurricane Helene and landfall. Oh, wait. Storm station coverage news 2 at 10.
Yeah.
So at 10 o'clock, they're going to put another channel up.
They're talking about landfall now.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, somebody lost. They have no camera up. They got a live going, but they have no camera up. That means that electricity went out. Mm.
Almost 1 million people without power in Florida.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
And that's just in Florida. That's not in like Georgia, South Carolina,
Right.
North Carolina.
Wow. Man, I remember when, I don't remember if it was Ike or if it was Katrina. One of them two knocked us out for 14 days straight.
Sounds like Katrina. Katrina was a heavy storm that hit New Orleans.
Yeah, we weren't in we weren't in New Orleans, but I think it might have been Ike because it was after Katrina, if I remember correctly. Anyway, whichever one it was, it knocked us out for 14 days. I'm not even kidding. 2 weeks straight, no electricity. We had to stay at a hotel. That was before we got our generator.
That's like when I was younger, Hurricane Hugo came through and knocked us out for about that long.
I'm not laughing at what's going on. I'm laughing at what just being me said. She said the only other hurricane I was in was Sandy, and she was a pain in my left butt cheek.
When Hurricane Hugo came through, we had to do. We had to boil our water outside on the grill.
Oh my God.
What I did, I made a makeshift grill to boil water on. I put blocks together and put a grill top over top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we did, we like cooked hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we had. That, I mean, we just cook on the grill.
Yeah.
We had one spot right above where I used to live. It was a church. They always had water, so that's where we would go and get water at.
Oh wow.
Because we had like well water.
Yeah.
So our power was out, so we didn't have like water.
Oh my God. So does it go bad when the lights are out?
No.
No. Oh, Lord have mercy. Mm, 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 mm.
New tornado warning for Garnet, South Carolina.
Okay. Wow. This is horrible. Anything new? See.
Looks like all the warnings are taken down for some odd reason. Evidently, it's due to the power in Jacksonville.
Jesus Christ. So how are they going to get their news if it's...
The National Weather Service lost power.
That's the last place you want to lose power.
I mean, but especially when a major hurricane's coming through.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one thing you want to keep up with. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. This is crazy. Mm, mm, mm. One thing to another. Mm-mm. Oh, Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm.
Been a confirmed tornado in Lake City, Florida.
Okay.
Columbia, Florida, Hamilton, Florida.
Wow.
Tropical storm warnings for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh. Isn't that close? That's close to you? Or is that, no, that is you, right?
That's about 5-6 hours away.
That's really close. Good Lord. Mm-mm-mm-mm. They definitely, the lights are definitely out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like blacked out over there in Florida. Wow. Even Pensacola, Florida, looks like it's all out. Mm. All right, I'm getting ready to head to bed. I'm gonna come back up tomorrow and update everybody on what's going on, like I just did tonight. If you want to come up, if you're able to, that is, because I know it's gonna get crazy over there, and I don't want you to be in any danger.
Yeah, if we got power, I'll come back up.
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Please be careful.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys, everybody, please be careful over there on the east side of town, on the east side in the Atlantic area. I'm sorry, not Atlantic. The east side of the country, the country. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm tired. Anyway, I hope that everybody's gonna stay safe. I'm praying for everybody to stay safe. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for coming. I appreciate y'all for coming. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Thank you for coming. Bye.